Afternoon, everybody, and welcome to August's version of Year of Shame Challenge 2020. We're approaching the home stretch, and this month I am your host, James Yarwood, the one and only. Thank you. Thank you. I can assure you it will be just as interesting as New Games with James. Yes! Sweet! So, get those kids in bed, get them ready, and press play. So, before we start, here we go. So, 2020 has been a very different and difficult year, one that will be remembered for all the wrong reasons. However, the Year of Shame has offered comedy and light-hearted ribbing aplenty. 5 people coming together to share in their wealth of unplayed games. Well, 4 of us. The mission statement was simple: buy nothing and play everything. There have been good months and bad months. Some have played lots, others have played very little. No matter how many games have been played, no matter how bad Dave has been at Dave is Challenged, the past 8 months have been an utterly and thoroughly enjoyable escapade. And as we draw swiftly and sadly, but irrecoverably into the final quarter, I have to say it's been a pleasure, and my thanks to the following 4 slowed reflex reprobates. First off, we have the man from New Zealand, who essentially owns no games. His work and verbal delivery on the questions has been excellent. He brings much needed sobriety, though this doesn't help the excitement. He's had to slow down his game consumption over the past few months, otherwise he'd have no content left. It's Duane, no game Pearson.
Hey!
Hello,
Well, this
how's
is
it going?
Very heartfelt. I'm quite moved.
Yeah, you leaving, by the way, James. It sounds like this is your goodbye speech.
No, I know it does, doesn't it? That's what I thought.
Very somber.
It's not somber in any way.
It is.
It's not somber at all.
Oh my goodness.
The reason I've done it is because I'm not going to be hosting again.
No, it's your last hosting. Fair enough.
That's true.
I sat there for a good couple of minutes going, trying to work out the math. No, it's not me.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Duane, how's it going? How have you been?
It's good. Are we doing live stuff now, or are you going to finish your intros and then come back to that?
No, let's finish the intros. Fuck it. Let's finish the intros.
Okay.
So, next up we have the man from the southwest, simply known as Cheaty McCheatface. I've enjoyed listening to an array of games that I've never heard of. The man loves an indie game. Whilst his delivery lacks any sort of fun and enthusiasm, it's been informative. His gaming abilities are below poor. His winning percentage on Dave is Challenged laughably low. It's Dave. I've class 5'd it Packer.
Thanks, James.
No worries.
We'll get into the Davis challenge later. Actually, I'm going to watch that
wait.
Yeah, worse.
Thirdly, we have.
I wasn't sure if that was Stu or Dave. To be perfectly honest, it was quite similar. Go on.
Thanks, Rich.
Yeah, there you go,
mate.
If anyone's going to be offended by that, it's going to be me, Stu.
No, I was offended by Rich's comment, not.
Well, that's what I mean.
Oh, hang on. I've just been insulted again somehow. Hang on.
Third up, we have the man from Brum, who has the magic touch. Without his abilities of stitching this garbled rubbish together, there's no doubt our dulcet tones would not sound so professional, despite his own voice. Don't be fooled by his technical abilities. This man has a secret. Well, it's not really a secret. He is a cheating bastard.
Cheating bastard, cheating bastard. Cheating bastard.
It's Stuart. I bought it for my child, I swear. Whitehouse.
Cheating bastard, cheating bastard.
Thanks, mate.
Cheating bastard.
I believe you'll find that jingle is a generic one. It doesn't say Stuart's a cheating bastard. It's just cheating bastard.
And last, and by all means least, we have the man from Wales. The Jingle King has worked hard to give us some truly epic audio additions, adding substance and some hilarious sound bites. His quick wit is only surpassed by how truly awful he is at Destiny. For your information, he scored lower than Dave. Unfortunately, he's not on the drink tonight, so apologies if he's more boring than normal. It's Rich, fucking Vex Mythoclast bullshit piece of shit. You wouldn't have beaten me if you'd used a normal gun, Purvis.
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent.
And actually, by not being on the drink, I'm only having 4.
Yeah, that is not on the drink, mate.
Because
That's not on the drink.
Excruciatingly boring when I'm sober. But I rarely am.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. You're not
Sorry.
boring at
What
all.
we're supposed to say?
I'm rarely sober.
Rarely sober.
Thanks, James Yarwood.
That's all right.
You're a lovely man.
So we'll do a rewind. Back to Duane. What have you been up to for last month, Duane?
Oh,
How's it going?
it's been a long month, hasn't it? Because we're technically in September now, aren't we? So, gaming's been shit, so we'll get to that later. I took a little bit of a ski trip. I went down to Queenstown. I stayed in Wanaka, and so I did some skiing on Cadrona and Treble Cone, which are both on the South Island. Snow coverage not great. Global warming isn't real. Yeah, but it was nice. It was nice getting away. It's a beautiful, beautiful part of the country, beautiful part of the world.
Sorry, were those place names you said, or medication?
No. That's bordering on racism, Stuart. Thank you, Richard.
Stuart's getting it again. He's done nothing.
Stuart's a racist. Stuart's a racist.
Racist.
No. Hang on. You can call me a cheat all you like, but you're not putting that on me. No way.
We are definitely. Do not put the jingle, racist bastard.
Oh my goodness.
You can cut that. You can cut. It's a joke, everyone. It's a joke. He's clearly no.
What about cheating racist? Is that
cheating racist?
We're only a few minutes in. You've got your work out for now, Stuart, already.
Yeah, I got some snowboarding in. Down on the South Island, absolutely stunning. But whilst I was there, we had a mini outbreak of COVID-19 up here in Auckland. So Auckland went into level 3 lockdown. The rest of New Zealand was put into level 2. Sadly, that didn't mean I couldn't get back into Auckland and extend my trip. So I actually had to come back and go to work, which was sucky. But yeah, what are you going to do? Whilst I was in Wanaka, I was in bed, just about to go to sleep, and my bed started shaking like crazy, and I had no idea what the hell was going on. I thought there was a ghost in the house or something, or a serial killer under the bed.
Yep.
Turns out it was...
You sure Dave wasn't wanking next door?
Well, I thought that could have been it. Earthquake, it was quite weird. I've never really experienced an earthquake before.
Okay.
Hazard of being on the South Island, I suppose. I've just been watching a little bit of TV, nothing particularly exciting. I did a bit of room rearranging in our spare room / my gaming room, so I've put up some shelves, mounted the TV on the walls, which means now we can't rearrange the room.
Wonky shelves.
They were fucking straight. I bloody sent you a picture. They were straight as fuck.
They were
straight as...
They were straight as Duane.
Straight as Duane. Which, despite what people might think, very, very straight indeed.
Very was, absolutely.
So I've managed, because I had a couple of Lego sets which I was sitting on until I had space to put them up. So I've done my TIE Fighter pilot's head, which Stuart's very jealous of. It's very, very nice. And I've got the Collector's Series, Ultimate Collector's Series A-Wing to make, which is going to be about 6 hours worth. So I'm waiting until I've got the time to do that.
Completely jealous of that. That looks amazing as well.
It looks just so, so nice. Been listening to a couple of podcasts. I listened to one called Movie Mash or something, because somebody linked it through because they were talking about Rogue One, which is my favourite of the new Star Wars movies, which was really, really good. And then I listened to one which they did on aliens, which annoyed the hell out of me because they were talking about themselves for like 40 minutes before they even talked about aliens, and then like 20 minutes on aliens. I was like,
what like what we do?
Yeah, like what we do. I don't care about you. Just talk.
You introduced this section, Duane. You said we should talk more about ourselves.
No, we should. But this is different. And I've been listening to the official Last of Us podcast, which I think came out just before Last of Us 2 was released, and it's actually quite interesting listening to what they're talking about with the original game, and I've not got to the part where they're talking about the new game yet. And we watched both Zombielands, so that was quite good. It's been
I love those films. I think they're great.
They're great fun. Whether they're as good as Shaun of the Dead, I don't know. Very different, but we'll see. They're kind of American, I suppose, so it's kind of a bit more brash than Shaun of the Dead. That's a bit more.
You've watched them, right?
Yeah.
Then they're not as good as Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah. I'm just saying whether they're as good as is kind of like a matter of opinion. I don't think
debatable.
they are. I think Shaun of the Dead's just a lot wittier, whereas Zombieland is just brash, but it's funny brash, so it's fine.
And it has Emma Stone in it.
Which is always a bonus. But though not everything Emma Stone's been good. La La Land was a massive disappointment for me. After everybody raved about how great it was, and I went to the movies and I was like, no, I don't get it.
Do you not think her eyes are too big?
No.
She's got like massive eyeballs. They're
It's
just
like a manga character, is that what you're trying to say?
Just distracting. It put me off.
Yeah.
Put you off?
Yeah, is that why you rejected her?
Yeah, I said, Emma, it's not working. I said, it's not working out, love. Your eyes are just too big.
Your eyeballs are too big.
Too much like a frog.
You've blocked her on social media, haven't you? Just leave me alone.
Dave, come on, we can make it work. We can make it work. I said, no, Emma, forget it. I'm not interested.
She says, I've seen Wind in the Willows. I really love Ratty.
Oh my god!
Ooh, that's harsh. Anyway, that's me. I kind of a brief synopsis of my non-gaming month.
Can I just say what I love about that, Duane, is that you spent more time talking about Lego helmets than you did a pandemic and an earthquake.
I've got my priorities.
Nothing happened.
The earthquake was only minor.
Absolutely.
Earthquake was only minor. It was fine.
Side notes. Yes, there was a pandemic and an earthquake, and
but Lego,
a Lego helmet. Yeah,
not just Lego, Star Wars Lego.
Star Wars Lego. So that wins over everything. Anyway, that's me.
Oh, that's good.
I was going to talk about the fact that I'd watched the Force Awakens again, and I don't think it's as bad as everybody makes out, but Stuart's just going to shake his head at me, so I won't bring that up. I'm
going to look at you now, disappointment in the camera.
You're not a fan of the Force Awakens?
It's better than 80% of the Star Wars films, isn't it?
I think it's okay. I think it's all right. I mean, it's not one of the best, but it's definitely not one of the worst.
It's a low bar, though, isn't it, Duane?
What for the best? The best is actually quite a high bar, but for low is
it's like the tallest. It's like being the tallest dwarf. The Star Wars film.
But you'd know about that, though, wouldn't you?
Dwarf.
Excuse me.
That's not very appropriate.
That's not appropriate.
That's very
disgusting.
True. Yeah.
Listen, I'm shorter than you lot, so I can say stuff.
So you're not exactly high on the height department yourself, are you, Dave?
It will cancel you in the cancel culture we live in, so you've been cancelled.
Anyway, moving on.
On that bombshell.
I was more talking about my family than anything else. Don't tell me you don't know that.
No.
You ain't going to say your family are dwarfs, are you?
Hang on, have I never mentioned this?
No.
To Duane?
No.
Right. Stop. Google Jack Purvis.
Everyone goes to Google Jack Purvis.
Google Jack Purvis.
Just clearing my Gillian Anderson Google there a second.
Oh, yeah, I know, yeah.
Yeah. Is he a relation of yours?
Yeah.
He's my sadly passed uncle.
Is he?
Oh, wow, that's really cool.
It's my dad's brother.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
No.
I had no idea. That's so cool.
I knew what an uncle was before you said that, by the way.
He was in lots of Star Wars movies. He's awesome. And Time Bandits.
He was in lots of Star Wars movies and Time Bandits.
Time Bandits classic. Oh, right, no. Didn't know. You came from good stock there, James. Not James, Richard.
No, I come from good stock.
Not particularly tall stock, I must admit, but stocky, quite stocky stock. Stocky stock, I would say.
I can only assume Rich inherits it in a different area.
What, drinking?
The beard. Yes.
Oh, wow. No,
anyway,
didn't know.
Yeah.
No, never knew.
I didn't know that.
I'm just trying to grab Duane's attention. Although Duane, you are really gunning for a fight in Star Wars somehow. This seems to be the episode where you want someone to bite.
Not at all. Well, the fact I'm wearing my Star Wars...
You've been flashing so much merch, mate. It's unbelievable.
Take that off, it's getting warm. Wearing my Star Wars...
His mid-90s haircut.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it at the moment. It's horrendous.
Daniel. I see your Daniel again this month, Dave. Dave, if you could be bothered, how's your last month been, Dave?
Yeah, all right. Hopefully, I've, as Stu alluded to earlier, I bought a new microphone. Hopefully,
the highlight of Dave's last month is he's bought a microphone.
I'm just getting...
Dwayne's been snowboarding, he's been in earthquakes, he's been in Pearson, he's watched every episode
I'm
of
just
something.
getting started.
I'm
just getting started. The microphone's just the beginning.
So you could hear how boring I am in crystal clarity.
I listened back to the last show, and to be honest, I couldn't understand what I was saying. And
welcome to our world.
Welcome to our last 8 months.
I couldn't understand it. So 8 months in, I'm starting to get a new microphone. So hopefully, when
Well, don't worry. Our adoring fans haven't mentioned how bad your audio is, so don't worry about it.
And to be fair, you don't sound any different.
You mean Joe hasn't? Joe and Dave Southall haven't mentioned it.
No, they haven't mentioned it now.
What else have I been doing? To be honest, I've been building loads of flat pack furniture, actually.
Oh, because you recently moved house, didn't you? That was it.
I have built this month 10 items of flat pack furniture.
10?
And it looks like absolutely none of them have gone into that games room.
There are 2 in here.
Is that because you're still building them?
The laptop
yes.
is on a table that I have built. Look how stable this is. Like I'm wobbling it there.
IKEA quality at its finest.
Hey, I'll have nothing said about IKEA. IKEA's great.
Actually, the table IKEA. I'm on is IKEA. It's pretty good. Stable.
Did you just shake it then, Wayne? It didn't move.
Yeah, exactly. I did. Exactly.
Why does mine do that?
When you finish,
building skills. When
you finish, did you have lots of screws and stuff left over?
No, I'm good at flat pack furniture.
No, you're not.
It's been increasing levels of complexity, and it has culminated in I have built an IKEA PAX double sliding wardrobe, which is, if you put it in gaming terms, it's like the flat pack equivalent of a Dark Souls game.
Dark Souls.
Because it's fucking hard. It was hard. The instructions were shit.
No. I've built. You know what? I've built 3 of those, and they're ice. The instructions. I didn't have a problem at all. Sorry,
mate.
And chop him down.
I have. It's because we got 3 of them in our bedroom. We got 3 1-meter wardrobes.
You're a wanker.
How many times did you lean on the wooden or kneel on the wooden dowels?
No times, mate. No times. I've got good at this. I'm quite adept at this. So anyway,
right.
Let me finish my gaming analogy for Christ's sake. So,
okay.
The wardrobe was like the Dark Souls. Beat the campaign, then discovered the secret final boss, which was the complement soft close system. Stu, did you build one of those?
I did, yeah.
Oh, you're ruining this for me.
Sorry.
Was it difficult?
It was.
You're supposed to play along.
It was so difficult. It was ridiculous.
He's shaking his head. I found it quite challenging.
Right. Well, I find though, I'm sorry if have you finished your analogy yet?
Yeah, I have now.
It's really boring. Anyway, so I find that
I hadn't, but yeah, let's say I have.
IKEA instructions are amazing. If you go to anybody else's instructions for flatpack, they are the world's worst. You don't realise how good IKEA are at it.
But I was working off 3 different instruction booklets at the same time. There was one for the frames, one for the shelves and the rails.
Were you pissed?
No.
Were you pissed?
And one for and one for the soft close system. Mate, it was different.
No,
Anyway.
he's just Dave.
Dave, I'm with you on this. Flat pack furniture from IKEA. The instructions are absolute gash.
Most of the things I built were fine, to be fair, but because there were 3 instruction booklets at the same time, it was complicated. And I had the doors on and off like 3 times. You
sure you didn't have 3 different instruction booklets for 3 different bits of furniture?
Yeah, I did, yeah. But they all amalgamated into the Pax double wardrobe.
So what have you got? A wardrobe dining table?
Yeah. Actually, yeah, it's brilliant. It's fantastic bit of kit.
There you go, missus. Are you sure? Yep. That's what it's supposed to look like.
Right, I've been watching some stuff on the telly. I watched on Netflix season 2 of The Sinner. That's the thing I spoke about a few weeks ago. Really good season 2, better than season 1, I must say.
Is that the pegging one?
Yeah, but he's not getting pegged anymore.
Is he moved on from it?
Oh.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't moved on. He's not kind of upgraded. He's just not being pegged anymore. I don't know what's happened.
The pegger becomes the pegged.
Less pegging.
Well, there's no pegging. There's 100% less pegging.
What's his sin then? This season.
He got
pegging is a sin. Is pegging one of the 10 deadly sins?
Him out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was no. He didn't get pegged, so he's obviously maybe something's happened. It went a bit far in between seasons, and he's just thought, I've had enough of that. Maybe he's moved on to other things. I don't know. Anyway, that was good. That's really good. So if you haven't watched it, watch it. I went to the pictures, watched Tenet.
Oh, was that good?
Is that any good?
I'm going tomorrow. I've got a ticket booked for
tomorrow. I can give an opinion on it, can I?
You're not even on the spoiler-sensitive woke community of this podcast. You're not even allowed to say the word Tenet. Don't finish it. Don't even give him the running time. Don't give him the running time. You've spoilt it if you give him the running time.
I thought you already said anyway what you felt of it. What you felt about it, didn't you?
It was all right. I won't say anything else about it then. It was all right.
I thought you said you didn't like it.
Well, you've got me to expand on it, haven't you?
Oh, well.
No, he wants to know, because if you didn't like it, Dave, he's probably going to like it.
I need to watch it again before I can formulate an opinion. Which
it's a long film, though, isn't it? Is it
2.5
hours?
There's a lot going on, and I think you need to watch it more than once to understand what the crack is. It's his most complicated film by far.
I do like Christopher Nolan films. So
yeah, it's more complicated than Inception, which is his previously most complicated, I suppose.
Really? That's not complicated?
Well, I didn't think it was. I thought it was really easy to follow, but a lot of people say that it is.
And utter bollocks.
Yeah, I think it was fashionable to say it was complicated. It's not complicated at all. I mean, if I can get it, fuck.
Probably the biggest problem I had with Tenet was that I had to have 3, maybe 4 pisses.
3 toilet breaks.
3 hot dogs.
Pisses during it. And I know I went for a piss during one particularly big exposition dump, and I come back and thinking, I didn't have a dump whilst the exposition dump was going on, by the way. It was just a wee. But I came back and I thought, shit. No, I didn't think that. I thought that's probably not the best time to go for a pee. So that kind of counted against me a little bit. But no, it was all right. It was good. It was. If you're going to watch it and you're thinking, I'll wait till it comes out on whatever, you need to watch it in pictures. Because it just get the big sound rattling, and it's just, it sounds fucking ace. So there's a lot of spectacle.
Were you all masked up?
No, not when you're in your seat. I was masked up going to the toilet and going in and all the rest of it. But I think once you've sat down, you can just take your
cough and splutter over everyone.
You just take your mask off, mate. There was hardly anyone in there, and this was opening night as well. I went opening night like last Wednesday, I think it was. It's fucking empty.
I've got to admit, I had been and ahhing. I wasn't going to go, but a friend of mine really wants to go, and I really want to see the film, and so I've decided just to go. I'll just cover myself in bleach, just drown myself in bleach.
Mate, there can't be any higher risk involved than normally going to a cinema in Birmingham, surely.
No, I'm not going to Birmingham. No,
Fair enough.
it's worse. I'm going to a place in Dudley. It's far worse.
Dudley.
Dudley.
Go to Dudley.
But watch it. All I would say about it, then I won't say anything about it really. But
Just don't go to the loo.
Watch it at the pictures. Yeah, but it's 2.5 hours, mate. How can you not? And I had a massive Coke. Massive.
Yeah, you
Coke
don't do
bucket.
that. It's like tactical. It's like tactical eating at a barbecue. You don't eat bread. It's fact, So don't drink 2 litres of Coke before you go to the film.
Eat bread.
When don't you
At
eat
barbecue? No, because it fills you up.
bread?
Just eat the meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't invite Stu to your barbecue, people.
You just stood there with a burger in
He's
your
just
hand.
clearly there like a fucking T-Rex.
Don't eat bread.
Little hands like that.
Yeah.
I'll get the burger.
I've starved myself for 6 days.
Oh my god. Yeah, Stu, you'll never come around my ass, man. Just saying.
No, it's just, you feel yourself on bread, don't you? Bread's really nice. So anyway.
And the only other thing I've watched is I started watching it on Netflix, Cobra Kai, which is like the
it's the Karate Kid thing, isn't it?
Karate Kid thing, which was I've watched most of it, so it's brilliant. It's really good.
Cool. I've heard that was good. Didn't that start off on YouTube? Didn't YouTube
it did,
make a series and then
YouTube Red.
Yeah, that was it. And then they've
Whatever the fuck that was.
It's Premiere now, isn't it? It's Premiere. They've changed it to Premiere now.
Yeah.
And all right, cool.
It's ace.
I'll have to watch that.
Might have to watch that.
Ralph Macchio has not aged well, I don't think.
Played any games?
He didn't even look like the same bloke.
Have you played any games?
Well, maybe. Let's talk about that in the next bit.
Yeah, we'll do the. We're just going through how people do. Stop stamping on. Stop treading on my toes, Whitehouse.
Sorry, I thought we were.
Are you
games
hosting?
as well?
No, James is hosting.
No,
Stop backseat hosting again.
Terrible.
Whitehouse.
He's just a control freak, and he's absolute control freak.
Awful. Well, thanks for that, Dave.
Right, mate.
Whitehouse. What have you been up to?
I don't know. What am I allowed to say?
Well, nothing to do with games.
Nothing to do with games. Right, okay. Work as per usual, so really I have done nothing. So, you might have been taking the piss out of Dave where Duane has done everything. I have done fuck all. There is nothing. There's nothing. Just been going to work, coming back. So, spending time with the family. It's cool. Oh, little Dexter had his first cinema night in the garden and he loved it. Watched Toy Story 4 and it was a nice night so we could see all the stars and it was really exciting. It was absolutely brilliant.
Has he seen
cool.
1, 2 and 3?
Yeah, seen them all, yeah. But Toy Story, it's so good. Has everybody seen Toy Story 4?
Yeah,
it's fucking brilliant. It is so good. Okay, the story's a bit wishy-washy, but the CG is just... It's mind-blowing. I've even been watching a few documentaries on YouTube about their techniques of making it. It's just, anyway, very boring, but incredible. So what I have watched, there's a series called Warrior Nuns. The worst name for a series in the world. However, it's okay. It's decent.
Is that one you would watch on private browsing? Or
no, it's a Netflix series. It's a bit on the... it's nothing like Buffy Vampire Slayer, but it's that kind of. It's not even nothing like it. It can be, so you can watch it at 6 o'clock or whatever. It's about like these nuns. There seems to be this military wing of the Catholic Church, and these nuns run it or something. And it's about this one nun who gets killed, and then they have the halo ripped out of them, and then pushed into this dead. Was it a paraplegic girl? 'Cause you've seen it, haven't you, James? Where they pushed into that girl, and then she becomes alive.
But they pushed it into her.
Yeah, into her back. Yeah, and then she has all these powers, and then it's just this story really about it's absolutely mental. When you try and explain it to somebody, but when you watch it, it's sort of the world they make. It sort of kind of works. A film I've watched called Old Guard. It's a Netflix original. Has anybody heard of that one?
I've seen it on there.
It's okay. No. It's about these people who live forever. It's a bit like The Highlander, but not as cool at the end of the day. I Am Mother. Actually, I really enjoyed that. It's about a film about this kid who's been brought up by a robot in this facility, but the kid's the only person there. And then it's only about an hour and 20 minutes into the film, then one other real person is introduced. And then, so it's about how this robot is really manipulated and all that.
I've seen that, mate. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, good film. However, the worst fucking film I've seen in a bloody long time, Justice League. Oh my fucking God. I know I said I'd cut down on swearing, but no, it's so bad. It is so bad. How on earth did that ever get made and okayed and cleared? It's don't watch it. If anybody's just not seen it, just don't bother. And then I've been watching lots of Friday Night Dinner and lots of Spaced, because they're ace at the end of the day.
And call on Space.
Yeah, Space is still my favourite. One of my favourite sitcoms. Yeah. And really, that's it. I can't really think of anything. I really have done bugger all. It's apart from work and family stuff, and that's it really. So non-interesting.
No
things.
earthquakes?
No. Well, Dudley is famous for having an earthquake at one stage, and but I'll say through
An earthquake.
So. An
A singular earthquake.
One earthquake.
Do you not remember the Great Dudley Quake of 92? Do you guys not remember that?
It was hilarious, that was. So that's me anyway.
Cool. Lovely. Rich,
Hooray!
what have you been up to?
Everything this month has been about my daughter's 16th birthday party, which was her first official party at my house, where we had 30 people.
Were you not there then, Rich? Did you have to go out?
No, I was there. Basically,
You bought the cider? Somebody had to go buy the cider from the offer.
Okay, here's a quiz for you. What age is it? What's the minimum age where it's illegal to give people alcohol?
Illegal or legal?
Well, let's say, what's the first... Okay, what's the cut-off point?
14.
In your own house?
14.
In your own house, it's
in your own house?
Yeah, it's like no, it's really young. It's something like 7, isn't it? Or something.
Duane?
It's young, I'd say. I thought it was
really
around
young.
12, but it is younger than you'd think.
Anyone else?
I was going to go with 14.
5.
Yeah, it's about right, yeah. But that's
5.
you. Yeah, but you
Well,
are
that's
the
not getting
parent.
pissed, is
yeah,
it?
but you are the guy. You're the person in charge. You are that rule. So
So I can get
but
my
it is
8-year-old drunk.
yeah, you can if
Yeah.
you want.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I thought that was shocking.
We
And
highly
obviously
recommend
that
That's why you don't have
That's
any
what-
kids. Dwayne.
Yeah. So we've kind of put it, and I'll say put it off for years, but last year we put it off. So it was the 16th birthday, but it was clearly there was no way of arguing that they couldn't have. Well, in fact, she put the law in front of me. Said, "You're absolutely, if you couldn't prove it, there's no reason why."
You can't just go, I'll
They
pay the
can't,
bills, it's
so-
my house.
But is that your discretion?
Yeah,
Isn't
but
it?
I don't know. You guys haven't got. Have you got teenagers?
Yeah, 15,
Not
13,
yet.
15.
and 5. Well, no.
So
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
So have you had a party at home with
no.
supplying alcohol to friends?
Luckily, the COVID situation's fixed that for me. So, hey.
Yeah.
No, we'd had a little party. He had for his birthday, he had a few friends round, but that was it, really. There was no alcohol.
Yeah.
No.
I bet you loved it,
Yeah,
Rich. You
yeah.
were probably DJing.
No. I played Call of Duty that night.
He did. He jumped on
I was
for
playing
it.
Call of Duty that night, and basically what Lily has said was, if all the lads from my party end up in this room playing Call of Duty, I'll never speak to you again. So
didn't
Was you like the Pied Piper?
yeah, I was like the Pied Piper of the gay dad. I did get referred to as a beast, and have been called an icon as well.
Ooh, nice.
So
Which I'm sure
Apparently
Lily
that's a good
was
thing.
thoroughly happy about.
no, she was like, yes, do not be a creepy pedo and get all the 15-year-old boys in the room playing PlayStation.
Your dad's an icon, were they saying? He's an icon.
Legend.
Yeah, ledge. Yeah, you got to remember these kids' parents are, not as cool as me.
Mate,
obviously,
of course not.
No. So that was about 16 days of stress for me, and then it was fine, and then on the Thursday, all the so we got the sunshine came out on the Tuesday. It pissed it down with rain until the Tuesday. The sunshine came out. It was absolutely perfect. Borrowed the gazebos off the local community church, put them up. Got a bit pissed on the Thursday, went, oh, it'll be fine. Woke up in the morning and it was like a fucking hurricane had hit and it twisted all the gazebos were fine. Everything was fine except the gazebos were there. So what I've had to do is take 3 gazebos apart, made 1 gazebo, gave it back to the church, and
you said,
just
forgive me.
forgive me.
Sorry about that. Just back away. Sorry.
It was God's fault, not mine.
Act of God.
He's an act of God.
Church.
Did you, Rich? Did you get a bit of lead off the roof while you were there?
Yeah. So anyway, so that's fine. To be honest, I was expecting. It was only 1 pile of sick. Only
Which was yours, probably.
3 people were caught trying to buy weed in the village. So compared to where my brain was going, that was quite a success. No one got pregnant, as far as I know.
Early days. I
wouldn't know that. So everything's been about that. What I've been watching, I've been trying to get through Ozark. The way I'm kind of watching things, I've been trying to binge watch, but have you seen Ozark?
Yeah, it's nice. I'm all completely caught up, and I'd love it. It's a great program.
Yeah, it's good, but I think it's like all of these series. It's stretched out a bit too much. Trying to get through the Fall. Gillian Anderson. We've already discussed that. We'll post a picture on the Facebook chat, just on the Facebook page, just to show you why we thought that was good.
Nipples.
Yeah, so that kept me interested in the Fall for quite a while. But that wears off at the end. And
do you know? Do you see the sex scene in that? Well, you obviously did, because it was early doors. But you could tell. Yes. And I was watching my wife, and I said to my wife, they said to her, "Gillian, do you fancy getting your knockers out for this sex scene?" And she said, "No, I fucking don't." And she didn't. She had a bra on all the way through it. And realistically, you could not have your bra on. But she said to him, "No way am I getting my knocks out." And they said, "All right." And that was the end of that.
Yeah. But funnily enough, your wife insists you keep your bra on.
Mate, I'm not the one that had a bra on my head half an hour ago.
There you go. So it's all been about the 16th birthday party and going back to school tomorrow. Yes.
Excellent. Yeah. Cool. Well,
what about you, James?
So, not much really. Work. I'm now back in the office. As of tomorrow, I'll be back in the office 2 days a week.
Is your office just a room full of doors? That's just so you don't just pick a door and going, no, not that one. Is it like Monsters Inc? Where they go and pick the doors?
No, it's not.
Oh, how cool would that be if you had all those doors and you just go through them into like different places? Oh my god!
When you're in your normal life, James, you're just going around to different areas and whatever you do, and going in shops, all the rest of it. When you go through a door, do you sort of evaluate the door in your mind? You think, "Oh yeah, this has got smooth action."
No, you have a complete misunderstanding of what doors I was about to,
do you have an appreciation of doors that you go through?
Don't shatter our illusion, James.
Don't ruin it.
No.
I bet you walk through a door and you go, "Oh, I'd give this door an 8 out of 10. This is a nice."
No,
that's a shoddy frame.
No, absolutely not. Because they're all boring doors. However,
do you know, this is in my top 10 doors of top 10 of doors I've ever
come on,
walked
give us a
through.
rundown.
Top 10 doors.
Rundown of your top 10 doors.
Top 10 doors. Go straight in at number 10. Woolworths in fucking wherever. Bristol.
I love the fact you picked Woolworths.
I don't know where Woolworths came from. Woolworths shut ages ago, didn't it? And it had automatic.
Dave's been in lockdown since 2004.
Woolworths, fucking hell.
But you say a room full of doors, Stu. I haven't been over to our contractor for a while, obviously, because of lockdown, and they're in Germany. They have a showroom. And it is literally just doors.
Just a room full of doors.
It's literally just a room full of doors, and you can open them and walk through them and close them. Obviously, they're in the same room. It's literally just a door. You know, Monsters Inc.
He's getting quite excited.
No. You know
about
Monsters
this.
Inc.
Yeah.
It is very much like that. They're not all in a line. It's very much like that. It's literally just a door. It doesn't go through to anywhere, obviously, because Monsters Inc. isn't real. But
What?
But that's what it's like.
Oh, shit.
That is literally what it's like. There's doors all over the place, and you can.
James, what's your favourite 1960s rock band?
Riders on the storm.
Yeah.
Hilarious. So,
What else? What else have you been up to?
Who's his favourite 50s singer?
So
Doris Day.
So I'm back in the office twice a week as of tomorrow. I've been back. I was once a week for August. So I'm now back 2 days a week, but that's all it'll be. Our office shuts at the end of the year apparently, and we'll be going to site. But I'll only be going there 2 days a week again. So I'll still be working from home most of it. I was dog sitting for a week for my in-laws, which involved.
Do you like dogs?
I don't care. They're all right.
He likes sitting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Involved, whatever. Yeah, fine.
So he got half
And
of it right.
that gave me a good opportunity to play a lot of video games. We'll go on to that later. But I also caught up and finished watching Picard.
What did you think?
I've always liked it, but that's always because I've always had Jean-Luc Picard was always my favourite captain because it was my era, the 90s. So
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Patrick Stewart is definitely too old, but I still really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I thought that too, yeah.
He is playing an older Patrick Stewart.
Yeah,
though,
but
isn't he?
he's too old even for that one. it's I don't know, it just doesn't. I just found it didn't work that well, but I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. So
I enjoyed it, but yeah, I'm with Stuart. He was definitely a bit too old.
Did you cry at the end, James?
Hang on.
Spoilers,
I haven't finished it yet.
Okay,
Moving on.
Right, move on. Yeah.
So, and I've also been watching or catching up.
Will there be a second series?
Yes,
That's the spoiler.
probably. I've been catching up on the last 2 or 3 series of Deadliest Catch as well.
I've not seen any of
That's
those.
so weird.
Deadliest Catch is really good. You know what Deadliest Catch is, though, don't you?
No.
Yeah, but how many series are there? Like 16?
Yeah, something like that. So it's basically
Jesus Christ.
it's about crab fishermen up in the Bering Sea, which is basically the sea between Alaska and.
And there's been 16
Eastern-
series of this.
Oh my god! It's like
About crab
It's like saying I finished American Pickers or finished. It's not a TV. It's not a drama. It is dramatic, but it's.
Catching a fish?
no, the cat basically.
I know, but to sit down and watch it like you're watching it, like you're finishing it all the way through, like a drama, is quite strange. I think.
Right. You couldn't binge watch it then.
It's like saying I've finished watching in order all of Storage Wars.
Story.
No, but you say that the final episode of Homes Under the Hammer was fucking unbelievable.
So yeah,
Happened.
that's been basically what it's about. And then the last week or two has been about getting the kids ready for school because kids go back on Thursday. And I took my kids down to my dad's at the weekend as well. Sunday, Monday. Played a game of cricket on the Monday, which was good fun. Like me some cricket.
You look
Very
like
wholesome.
you actually look like a person who likes cricket and rugby.
Yeah, I love
and those kind of things. Yeah.
Next season or next summer, because cricket season's finished and was destroyed thanks to coronavirus. I'll be. I found a cricket team, so I'm going to go and play cricket at the weekend. I haven't done it for 10 years.
What's your position, mate? What do you do?
What do you mean? What do I do?
Bowler, batsman.
Bowler.
What?
Nice dip.
He He's the Freddie Flintoff of YOS.
Dibbly dobbly outswing, basically.
What the fuck is that? Dibbly dobbly outswing.
Basically, it's slow, but I can move it as you're looking at it, right to left.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
cool.
Yeah,
and that's been me really.
That describes Dave's pissing technique.
I'm just thinking because I've watched a bit of cricket on the telly, and I take a bit of an interest in cricket, but I've never heard the phrase dibbly dobbly.
That's because you're watching international or professionals. I'm a village cricketer, Dave.
Right, that's not on the telly much.
No, I'm not James Anderson. If I was James Anderson, I wouldn't be talking to you lot.
No, that's not very nice.
Well, that's charming, that is, isn't it?
I wouldn't.
There's a level. There's a level.
No.
Charming.
But I
to the point.
I'd be sitting there, playing international cricket.
Having to play international cricket.
Yeah.
He'd be on a Zoom call with David Gower or somebody like that, I suppose.
Oh God, David Gower. Fucking hell. Anyway, but yeah, that's been me really. So, not very interesting. But hey ho.
Well, that was that for everyone who said I've been up to nothing. We've done 47 minutes on no one actually doing anything in August. So for God's sake, don't do anything in September because we'll be here for 2 hours if we actually have some content.
This must be riveted.
Well, speaking of content, we'll go back to what this is all about. Pile of shame. We'll do it in the reverse order. So, Rich, how's your pile been going this week? This month? Last month.
Well, this week, yes. Not too bad. I'd say not too bad. I've been playing 2 games. The first one I thought might be a rerun through was XCOM. I mentioned it last month. So if you don't know XCOM, it is a turn-based game. XCOM originally in the 90s, very early. Well, not early, but a PC game in the 90s used to play. Invaded by aliens, and you play a resistance force that has to destroy those aliens. You move, you shoot. You build your squad. XCOM 2, I played 20 hours of it. And the problem with XCOM, has anyone played XCOM 2? Do you know what?
Remember,
I know you don't. I know you don't like it.
Which I have.
Yeah. You bought it on your Vita. So it's one of these. It's one of these games where you have to. So each scenario set up turn-based, not real-time strategy as we discussed before. You move your troops, and you've got to. They're keeping you awake.
You are.
Yeah.
We haven't even got to new games with James yet.
And it's awesome. It's absolutely everything I love in a game, but it is brutal.
What level do you play on there?
Just play it on the normal level. On normal level. And I have put 64 hours into it.
Wow.
Really? Since we last recorded?
Yeah.
Bloody hell, man. Well done.
I am not even.
Well, can you complete the game? Is it completable? I thought it was. I thought it was randomly generated levels, isn't it?
It's randomly generated. And actually, do you know what? Today I thought, do you know what I should Google? Is can you complete this game?
I didn't think it was an ending. I just thought you kept on going. But
no, there is a storyline that goes through it, and things pop up. And in theory, you think, well, this should be quite easy because you can build up your troops and then you can go and get supplies, you can scan, you can get that. And there's a really beautiful leveling system for your troops. They get more powerful and more interesting moves. It's absolutely perfect. But the thing that screws it up is that there is every time you do a few days or a few weeks of whatever it is you're doing, you're being countered by the aliens ticking up this clock. So you've got 10 spaces on the clock. And so quickly it starts moving up. And you have to go and get these dark events, complete a dark event. And it takes 2 off the level. But then the aliens do something and put something else on. So you're always racing against that. and it gets to that point. I don't know if you ever play a game where you think, well, as soon as you lose a soldier, it takes them weeks to get better. You're always under pressure, always under resource pressure. The moment you think you've got a handle on it, the aliens do something or they level up, and you are never ever. So you never feel like you can just breeze to a level. Oh, I fucked that up. I'll just go and build some more resources.
Sounds like my door's
always
contract.
under pressure.
Just less aliens.
It does. Yeah. It's like that. And the thing is I don't really know whether or not. So what you end up doing is you end up saving at the beginning of the level. If you don't run it through perfectly, but then you feel like start again. But it is so easy. I got through another 20 hours and got to a point where I couldn't go any further. Exactly the same as I did when I bought it. And so it's driven me mad. I've gone back, started again, and I've done 40 hours, but I've gone back and resaved it.
I've just done a quick Google. And I put, can XCOM 2 be completed? And it's come back with around 32 hours. You're saying 60 odd hours. XCOM 2 will take you around 32 hours to beat if you stick rigidly to its missions. Oh, so
does it say if you are of an average skill level as well?
If you look into all the extras like XCOM 2 has to offer to achieve blah blah blah. 72 hours to get 100% completion.
I have got the additional whatever DLCs with it, which is additional missions and that. But yeah, so I might. You've got to go to every continent. I think you've got to destroy a facility on every continent, and I think I've done 4. And it looks, obviously there are 7 continents, or there's 7 seas, 7 continents. How many fucking continents are there?
That changes every year.
5.
There's 5 when I went to school.
Right.
There's 7 now, I think.
Isn't there 6? But anyway, let's carry on.
Antarctica and Arctic. Anyway, there you go. So anyway, that says the second game I've been playing is Alien Isolation. You saw you play that, and that's a fucking great game.
Awesome. I was actually at work when you had that, and I wasn't on the list, so I was able to sit and watch you. And every time you screamed or squealed or got high pitched, it was just hilarious. So, Richard, can I just say thank you for that? That was just quality.
I said I never knew his voice went that high.
He did.
I thought at one point his daughter was playing it for him.
No, and I don't like, and like you don't like spoilers. That's why I'm not really. I don't know how far I'm through, but I'm kind of ticking it through. So I've got into the rhythm of it, and it's just it's almost a perfect one of those style games. Whatever that style game is, it's perfect because it keeps you interested. The puzzles are interested. A little bit like Last of Us, you can run through, get your kind of feel of what you need to do in the level, and then execute on it, and it's satisfying when you do it.
It's a great game.
So yeah, if you've got it, play it, commit to it, and get it done. It's a good one. So I should get those completed in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. But yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Cool.
Excellent. Stu, how's your pile going?
A lot better this month, even though it's fairly smallish kind of games, but way better. Where last month I did bugger all. It was just Division 2. And to be fair, Division 2 is still taking up majority of my time. But this month I completed I've been threatening this for ages, a PS3 Wonderbook game, Diggs Nightcrawler, and I did stream it, so it's and I completed it on the stream as well, which is quite nice. So the whole entirety on there, which is quite fun. It is very a kid's game though. It is very simplistic on what you got to do, but it just shows that Wonderbook was brilliant, but it was crap marketing, and Sony just did their typical. Forget it. We can't be asked. Yeah, it was so good, and for what it was as well. Then another game I did stream. It was Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. Now, can you remember that? That was sort of the paid for demo before Metal Gear Solid 5 come out. And I remember buying that because at the time I was like going, I've got really no games and I don't really know what to play and all that. And that was it. All the games was 60 quid. And at that time as well, I didn't know about trying to get games cheaper and things like that. But that came on the store of, was it £25? And I got it.
Do you know what? I think I've got that. Is that a PS3?
PS4. No, it was PS4. It was
very early PS4, was it?
Yeah. It was very in the first year, I think it was. Or, in the first year.
It was also a PS Plus game in the end, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Because I think that's where I picked up from.
Oh, right. I know Metal Gear Solid 5 was PS Plus, but I don't know where the Ground Zeroes was. Oh, okay. So I went through that. I never played it. And you know what? I love stealth games. I have no idea why I never played it. I bought it. I think I played 10 minutes of it and never touched it. It's like an idiot. Yeah. So went all through there. In the stream, it all went a bit AWY and I didn't... I killed the stream. But then I played it the next day and I completed it within about 20 minutes, so it was quite close to the end anyway. And that was good. Enjoy. So will I play Metal Gear Solid 5? Probably not. I've got to say I probably won't bother with that one. And then
you've got that.
It's a massive game.
Yeah, I have, but that was PS Plus, so I'm not really counting it. If I play it, I'll play it. I'm not really. If I bought it, then that'd be a different thing. Right, another game which is more of an indie game. Which anybody's heard of Jazzpunk?
Nope.
No, okay. It's a first-person perspective game, kind of shell-shaded. It's more of a comedy game, and it is literally just fetch quests. So you go to this Russian embassy, and you have to try and infiltrate it and things like that. To be fair, I'm surprised they've never made it into a VR game because it'd be perfect for a VR game.
Is it funny?
Right.
Say again.
Is it funny?
If you're a teenager, yeah. It's okay. It's mildly amusing. You can see where they're going with the jokes, but they're very predictable. So it's okay. It was a cheap game anyway, so I quite enjoyed it. It took about 8 hours to complete. So, and that was a game I've always had on my list. I just thought I better complete that.
What sort of game is it?
It is first person perspective, like I said, and it's just like a fetch quest game. Or you've got little missions where, the
combat,
first...
Is there combat?
No, there's no combat. No. So it's more of puzzle solving. So the first mission, you get sent to a Russian embassy to try and infiltrate their computer. But you got to do wacky things like hit pigeons on the head or talk to prostitutes who are going into cinemas and...
sounds very Russian.
It's just really weird and things like that. So, but it's not that weird. You play it, you go, oh, it's mildly amusing. It's not really unfunny, but it's just, it's okay. It's okay. Then the next game which was streamed for 2 hours, was the PT demo. Which, thank you for Joe, who got me through that. I didn't actually complete it on the stream, annoyingly. I was that close. Can I be bothered to go back to it? I probably won't, because I was right at the very end. But I had a proper...
Me and Lily watched you, my daughter Lily watched the play that. I fell asleep after the 15th time I saw you look at that goddamn clock.
Honestly,
and I'd been out for a few beers and I passed out and Lily said... Oh, you didn't see the best bit.
I know, I'd shit my pants. Like Joe, bless him, he even queued it all up and then posted it, and they'll go, this is the bit you want to watch where I actually lose my shit. I hate jump scare. I'm like you, Rich. I just can't deal with them. And so, but that was a very frustrating game, because that game as well, I don't know how people got through it without walkthroughs. It's the most...
Yeah.
It doesn't tell you anything.
I never finished it. I do have it, but I never finished it. But I did read a thing of what you have to do to get through each section. I'm like, how do people figure this out? It's just random as fuck.
And what made it worse? I mean, Joe, bless him, he was trying his hardest because he was going through this, but because there's a 20-second delay on the stream, so I already gone through stuff while he was trying to tell me to do stuff, and he was probably watching the stream going, no. But I went through it, and it was good. You know what? It was good fun. I'll probably the room I'm in now, I'll put a black screen at the back. You only could see my head, a bit like Holly, which somebody pointed out. Was it? Adam, wasn't he? Pointed out the Holly. So it was just, and it was proper scary, to the point I even opened all the blinds so my wife wouldn't come and bang on the windows and scare the shit out of me, because that's what she would have done.
Mate, you committed to that. The room you were doing it in, it was dark. It was gloomy.
And all day, I'd say I am so shit with horror stuff. And the thing in my little text I wrote about being a wuss, I'm not even fucking lying. That wasn't even for effect. All day, I was actually nervous about doing it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's,
but mate,
it's a game. It can't hurt you. For God's sake, what are you doing?
You committed to it. You committed to it. And like Rich, playing his Alien Isolation, who had all the lights on, playing it in the middle of the day, he probably had the fridge open to have the lights on from the fridge. It just like a baby.
No, I understand how you feel, Stu. That's how I used to be with Resident Evil games. Nah,
I can remember Resident Evil 1 on the PlayStation, and that used to shit me up as well. And now when you look back at it, it's laughable of how unscary that game is, but it's just times change. And then, because we had, I wouldn't say it was a community night at all, but we had a lot of people all get together. We all played Titanfall 2. But I never actually finished the campaign. So I finished the campaign. I finished that yesterday.
What do you think of it, Stu?
Nice.
You know what? It annoys me that the multiplayer is nothing like the campaign. Actually, it pisses me right off. I don't even know. I can't understand. There's such a disconnect from the multiplayer to the single player campaign. I love the single player campaign way more than the multiplayer. It's just so much better.
Can you learn how to play a Titan from the...
No, you can't.
Because that's what I can't be asked to learn it on.
Not at all. I'll tell you, the skills you learn on the campaign are nothing like multiplayer. Absolutely nothing like it. They'll teach you the basics, strafe and, and fire rockets and whatever. But no, nothing compares to a real person being there and you attack, and you one-on-one. The campaign is so much better though. It's an okay story. It's very stereotypical, but I prefer the campaign way more than multiplayer. Multiplayer is a good laugh, but it's just throwaway. And it's a shame that I wish there was DLC now to the campaign. I wish there was more things to it as well. So...
might give that a go.
I've done it now. So I was, and you know what? Annoyingly, I found a save part, and where I was, I couldn't figure out what to do. I was jumping on these rocks, so I ended up starting the whole game again. Went through it all. I was only about 10 minutes from the end. The whole game again. It's fine though because it was fine. Yeah, I was real close. I think I got frustrated and I must have quit. Now Dave said play it on the challenging hard. I was playing on challenging. I need to throw my controller through the window, so I had to knock it down to hard. Sorry, Dave. I had to. It's just pissing me right off. I couldn't do it. There's one bit where you just get swamped by these two Titans and you haven't got a mech either. You've got to go and get them as a foot soldier. So anyway. That's done now. It's off my list. And it's off my list as a single-player campaign. I'll obviously play multiplayer because that was good fun, wasn't it, when we all played that?
Are we having a bit of a regular Sunday night thing going on or something?
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I'm up for it again, so I did enjoy it. But like my takeout is the campaign, to me personally, is way better than the multiplayer. I prefer the campaign, but I'm a single player. But I am a single player person more so. So
I stepped away. I assume you're talking about Titanfall 2.
Yeah. Also, I've completed it. That's all the campaign is off my list now.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed that.
A game which I've just started, and I was, when you're sitting in front of your console or whatever, what you want to play on, and you're going, I don't know what to pick next. Especially on Year of Shame, because you have got a limited pool of games. You can't just go, I want that one. So I was like, I don't fancy any of these. And I love BioShock. Always love BioShock. And it's always installed on my system. I thought, I'll jump into BioShock Infinite. And then I realised, right, I bought BioShock Infinite when it was on PS3, and also I bought all the DLC. And then they re-released it on PS4. They did a nice little box set, the disc, so I bought that. And they also released it on PS Plus, didn't they, this year as well? And so I bought it, and I realised I never played Burial at Sea DLC, and it is amazing. It's so good. And so I played about 3 hours today because I got the day off work, so I managed to get some gaming in.
That's the DLC for Infinite?
Yeah, that's it. But Burial at Sea was meant to be like it is like a very highly regarded piece of DLC as well because it goes back to Rapture and it's brilliant. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love it more at the moment more than Infinite itself, and I really liked Infinite. I was one of the few who actually really liked it. So it's only part 1 I'm on at the moment, but by the next time we record, I would have got those have been completed on my list. But annoyingly, I didn't even put those on my list, my Year of Shame list, because I didn't realise I didn't actually play them. So, but they are. I will put them on my list now because I like them, and I want to go back into that world. I love that world. I love BioShock world. It's like they're planning on making System Shock, aren't they? And they never played System Shock. So when they release that, I can't wait to get stuck into that.
Are they remaking it, are they?
Yeah. Well, they're like up-resing it and all that kind of stuff, and it's that's like the first game of the many. Yeah. The beginning of it also, and I think that's everything. So in a way, this month I've been way more productive.
That's very good. That's a lot of games.
Yeah. So
there's a couple there, mate. It sounds like you wouldn't have touched if you weren't doing Year of Shame as well.
You know what? If I wasn't doing Year of Shame, I definitely wouldn't have done Ground Zeroes, and I definitely wouldn't have done the PT demo. I wouldn't have done it. No way, I wouldn't have done it because I didn't even know. Because what I needed, I think I needed a stream or something to make me do it. And that was the only way I would have done that one. So, Timefall 2, I thought I completed it, but when I had a look, I hadn't completed it. So, but now I'm happy. But back on the PS3 one, on the Wonderbook stuff, I've got 2 other games to play. I've got the Harry Potter game, and I've got this Walking with Dinosaurs game. I don't think it's a game. I think it's more of an experience. So I might set those up for a stream on one time and go through those as well. Hopefully I can complete them in one sitting as well. So yeah, that's me.
That's a very good month, Stu. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done, Stu.
Dave, what have you been doing? How's your pile of shame gone? Let's hear about those games that no one's ever heard of.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I've got a couple of those for you as well in a minute. But what I have done, and this isn't on my pile of shame actually, but I plugged the Wii back in. So you guys know I've got this gaming room now that looks like a shithole, but it is a gaming room. So we've plugged back in the Wii console that hasn't probably been turned on for years. And to be honest, it coughed and spluttered into life. And at one point, I didn't think it was going to start working. But it did. So I've been revisiting a few of those games, which is fantastic. So me and my lad, Daniel, have played through Super Mario Galaxy.
That's a good game.
Mate, it's a fucking awesome game.
It's a good game.
My God, it's brilliant. And we got all 120 stars.
Nice.
Which is no mean feat. That's tricky, to be fair. So yeah, that was brilliant. And it just I played it before. We never got the 120 stars before, but it just made me realise what a game that is. Duane, do you think it's the best Mario game?
It's up there. It's definitely up there as I'd say it's better than Odyssey. Is it better than 64? I don't know. 64 was groundbreaking. That was the thing, because it's the first time Mario went from 2D to 3D, so it was kind of like that big leap. But yeah, it's Mario Galaxy is good. It's a good,
there's
solid.
There's just so much going on. It's so inventive, and there's just my God. We were playing through it, and me and my son, we were just looking at each other, going, oh my God, this bit's fantastic, and all the rest of it. What a brilliant! I don't know how many hours that took to go through that, but that was fantastic. That was a fantastic time. That was. Then we played Mario Kart Wii, so we got that going. Which I've forgotten how good that was.
Didn't you find Mario Kart Wii though was like the tracks were just always really, really wide, so you never really had that challenge of not falling off or navigating like really tight corners. They're just like wide open tracks. That's...
Yeah, but that played to Dave's strengths. That's why he loved it.
Loved that, mate. That was brilliant. Yeah, that bit was brilliant. What I loved about it, and I think a few shows ago we were asked what our favourite console was, and I said the PlayStation 4, and Rich fucking took the piss out of me for it. But having kind of reevaluated it, I say the Wii because I love the Wii. Just the control scheme on the Wii with the Wiimotes and the fact that you could move it, and with Mario Kart you kind of move the controller like a steering wheel and it moves, and that's just unbelievable. That's fantastic. So yeah, we've had loads of fun with that, and we also played. I know we talked about tennis games a couple of months ago. I've completely forgotten about Grand Slam tennis, which is the best tennis game since Topspin 4. Have any of you guys played that? Duane, you probably have.
Yeah, one of my favourites.
I think I have. I think I have.
It's quite cartoon. The graphics are quite cartoony.
It's on the Wii,
It was
right?
one of the first games that used the Wiimote Plus. But
You have to do that. You have to swing your back. So you have to swing your
I know. It's just turned on it. You lot was going to start.
No,
taking the
I'm
piss
actually
now.
taking the piss.
No,
I don't know. Do you?
no.
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, but
Okay, I'm not taking the piss.
the control scheme was awesome because you could do top spin and back spin and all the rest of it. And the gameplay mechanics were probably better than Top Spin 4, to be honest. So anyway, we played a few games of that. That was brilliant. So we've had a real Wii loving the last few weeks, which is great. But my lad has now moved on to Skyward Sword, which I refuse to play.
It's a shit game. Skyward Sword is the worst Zelda ever.
Yeah, because it's shit. And I've said that to him. I said, son, this game, what you're playing now is shit.
Twilight Princess, which is also on the Wii, is just so much better.
Yeah, he won't have it. He won't have it.
Skyward Sword is the worst.
Did you just trying to bully him into class 5ing it?
He loves it because he's got a limited experience of Zelda games, to be fair. And I've said to him, Twilight Princess is far better.
It's just far superior.
Here's a question then, right? So
That's such a father-son chat, that is.
Yeah,
come on, son. I'm going to sit you down. I'm going to tell you some man
I'll tell
stuff
you, right,
now.
listen to this.
Twilight Princess is the game a man plays. Not that shit you're playing now.
I used to have... Right, here's a question. I used to have Twilight Princess on the Wii, but it would appear that I've lost it. So... I'll probably excuse Stu from this. I know Stu would say
buy it.
No, because
anyway.
we had this. We had this with Richu when he.
No, but I lost it.
No.
I replacing a damaged / lost disc.
Yeah, but we got no proof that you had it in the first place. But as long as you're not buying it and you're buying it for your son,
That's allowed. So if you were to buy
that's
it,
allowed,
if you were to buy
That
it and
should be
just
acceptable.
watch him play it, that's
and it's not for
acceptable.
you.
That's acceptable.
that is not for you. And it is his. And when you can never ever play that. It's his game, and he has to give you permission to play it if you ever want to play it.
I lost it. I lost it.
We got no evidence of that. We got no proof.
Well, I can tell you what happens in the end.
So you could see that on. You could look
see
that on YouTube.
I won't bother. All right, but anyway, he needs to know next year. Then he needs to know that Twilight Princess is better than Skyward Sword, and Skyward Sword is down the bottom.
It's a piece of junk. It's just the absolute worst.
That's correct. Right, okay. So PlayStation 4, I've played a couple of games. I finished one, actually. You'll be surprised to learn.
Hmm?
A game called...
Is it your version of finishing a game?
No,
Or
I actually
finished the game?
played it till the end of the game.
Well done.
And it's a game called Here They Lie.
Oh, that's the horror game, isn't it? Is it a horror game?
Is it horror?
Oh, I thought it was. Here They Lie. I thought, is it?
It is like a horror game, I suppose, yeah. It is fucking horrific, to be honest. It is pretty horrific. It's
Yeah, that is a horror game, yeah.
yeah,
You should play it,
it's a
Stuart.
walk 'em up. Walkathon.
I think you played it with your son, didn't you?
No, I played that one. It's a walkathon. It's dark.
There's a VR component for that game. You can play it in VR as well.
It's really dark. It makes Bloodborne look like fucking Dora Saves the Snow Princess or something. It's horrible. It's some really horrible stuff goes on. There's violence, there's death, there's people in animal costumes, there's orgies.
Just a Saturday night round your house, Dave.
It's like a night out in Gloucester, honestly. It's a Wednesday night in Gloucester. Oh my god, it's horrendous. But no, there's some really horrible, weird shit goes on. But it's like the visuals are really great. It's got really inventive visuals and all the rest of it. So I recommend playing it if you've got the stomach for it, because there's some really clever stuff going on.
It sounds like have you played Outlast?
No.
Wow. We should try and.
Is that the camera one? Is that the one where you got a video camera and you're walking around an asylum? Oh, that was a PS Plus game as well, I believe. Yeah,
it was. Yeah,
yeah, it was. Yeah, cited as the ultimate in.
So I do have that, and I have
games.
So that could be on my list. But I don't want to do horror games again. I've done my time. Surely.
Here's a question for you then, boys. So I played through it. And it was good. Like I said, there was inventive stuff, all the rest of it. But when I finished, I had to Google what had actually happened because I didn't have a clue. It was the story was so obscure and all the rest of it. It was like building an IKEA wardrobe. It was ridiculous. But it was just bizarre. So I Googled it, and I'll give away slight spoilers. So you play a bloke who kind of follows his ex-girlfriend around, and then you meet her at the end, and the game finishes. But of some of the interpretations of what was going on, so the man that you play represents humanity. The ex-girlfriend represents God. And the kind of end of the game represents the rebirth, the destruction and rebirth of the planet.
The planet?
My question... Yeah.
The people. Okay.
The planet and the people on the planet, all the rest of it.
Oh, okay.
So my question for you guys is all that highbrow intellectual stuff wasted on video games?
Wasted on you?
No, it's wasted on you.
No, it's 100% wasted on me. No, my question is that what we play video games for? I think that's too much for a video game. I'm reading it, I was thinking...
It depends.
Really?
Look at Bioshock.
Yeah, if you look at like Bioshock Bioshock Infinite. Bioshock Infinite, when I finished that game stayed with me for ages afterwards because of like what was going on and the story and everything. It depends what you're after. Sometimes you just want to like go around and shoot and kill
different.
shit.
That was because you knew what was going on in Infinite, Bioshock Infinite, and it was a fantastic story. All the parallel universes and all the rest of it. All spoilers, fuck, sorry. But if you have to Google it because there's loads of hidden meaning and all the rest of it, do you not think that's just going too far?
I haven't had to Google a game after I've played it, Dave. I've understood it.
What is Call of... Yeah, well, you only play Call of Duty and FIFA. It doesn't take...
Yeah, come on, Joe.
Let's lip at you.
Deeper meaning of trying to get Arsenal through the season 4.
But serious question. Do you think... I was reading about it thinking that's for a video game, you've just gone too far.
No, I've never had to look up a game and things like that, but I think if a game's grabbed me, and I think I would like it. It's like, right, you like films or TV series or books which are very, especially series where they've got a big story arc and then it's all the bits in the middle, and sometimes they go off in directions you don't really know, and I think you're the kind of person who would like then to read up on that. It's only the same for the game.
I like the game. The game is really good.
I'm not saying that you don't like the game. You're asking the question about, is it okay to look up stuff after it? And I mean, yeah. Of course, if you like the game, why not? If you're inquisitive about that game, just look more stuff up about it.
No. My question is it okay to make a game as complicated as that you have to?
Yeah, of course. Why not? Yeah. Same as we were talking about Tenet earlier on. It's like if it's complicated and you have to revisit it to kind of understand its full complexities, and that's that. It's fine. Gaming is just another art medium, just like movies or books or anything. So I don't see why it should just be limited to running and shooting and killing shit, and it can't actually have some kind of deeper meaning if a developer wants to do that.
Yeah, it's up to the developer, surely. It's not us to demand what the developer should do. It's up to them what they want to do, and then if we like it, then we're on that train with them. If not, then we move on. I don't mind. I mean, I think I know what you're talking about, Dave, but I don't mind. I've not found a game which has made me do that. Okay, Mass Effect. I've purposely gone into lore and looked at other stuff, but I haven't had to because I understood the story, but I've wanted to. Is that the same kind of thing as well, or?
There's no possible way you would understand what's going on in this game without looking it up.
Is that a bit like Destiny 1, though, and the
was so
Grimoire
obscure.
cards, and figuring out what the plot was and the lore was of that story? Because that was convoluted, and you had to go online.
Yeah, I don't know. It was good, and I really enjoyed the game. And I said it was a good game. Well, I finished it. I must have liked it to finish it because I don't finish any fucking games.
Well done, you. You sure it wasn't your daughter though who completed it for you?
No, it was all me, mate. It was all me. And then I was reading that one, and I thought, Christ, there's a lot of complex stuff going on there for a video game. I don't know. If you guys say it's all right, then it's obviously all right.
Did it detract from your enjoyment of the game? It being like that, like slightly complicated, and so did you like go fucking? I didn't enjoy it because I didn't understand what the fuck was going on. Or we like actually I enjoyed that, and I want to find out what actually was like the meaning behind it, which is why you went and read it. So
yeah, I obviously googled it at the end because I thought I don't really understand what's happened. I googled it and then. I don't know. It just seemed there was a lot going on that wasn't obvious. I sound like I didn't grasp what was going on now.
Everyone interprets games differently, though, don't they? So it's all media differently. So
No, I understand what you mean. Sometimes there are like books and movies which have hidden meanings, and sometimes you don't actually know what they are, and then you read up and go, "Oh yeah, shit, I didn't realise that." But it doesn't mean you enjoy the movie or the book any less for what it is. Like a face value.
But reading what was going on in that game, you wouldn't go, "Oh yeah, that's I understand what's happening," because it was there were themes that didn't really relate to the gameplay or what was going on. It was just it was weird. I just think, well, they've poured a lot into this game that will be unappreciated by 99% of the people.
To be fair, the reviews for it got absolutely hammered when it was released, and the VR bit was it was renowned for making people sick because it was a really bad implementation of VR as well. So
and also you got to remember, Dave, is that some people watch films about space pirates and farm boys and read a lot of bullshit meaning into them about kind of larger meaning of religion and political systems and stuff like that, and that's just all just sort of reaching for meaning.
Probably
in their
20% of those films were good, weren't they? And the other 80% were shit.
Sorry, Duane, don't worry about it.
So that's one game knocked off, but it was good, but maybe it was a bit highbrow for me, or maybe I just think they just went a bit overboard on it, to be honest.
So what's the next game, Dave?
Iconoclasts.
What?
The Iconoclasts. Have you heard of that?
No, I haven't, no. What's that?
Nope.
So, to be honest, it was a good opportunity to look at what the word iconoclast actually meant, because I didn't know what it means.
It means that. Does it not mean that it is something that is admired? People.
No. An iconoclast is someone that defaces or destroys religious artefacts.
Well, quite the opposite there, then, Rich.
Is it?
Yeah. I had to look it up, mate, but it was a good opportunity because I've heard the word before and I never knew what it meant, so it's a good opportunity to look it up, mate. It's educational, isn't it? It's educational. So
this was another game you had to look up what it actually was about?
No, because it plays... No. Just what the word was. So it's decent. It's like a side-scrolling puzzler, stroke shooter, stroke Metroidvania type game. It has got a story. The story has got quite religious overtones, as you would imagine, because it's called Iconoclast, so it's a religious theme.
Is it very cartoony?
Yeah, it is quite cartoony. Yeah, well, it's like 16-bit art style, which, to be honest, I think sometimes is a bit lazy by developers. They just think they'll do that because it's easier and it's a bit retro or whatever, and I think it's just a bit lazy. But this one was good. It reminded me a lot of Wonder Boy, which I know is a game that you guys all know well. But it's smart. The story's a bit crap, and it's just doled out via text boxes, which makes it almost as dull as an episode of New Games with James. but the actual gameplay is pretty good. So
very good reviews though. Metacritic 87.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It plays.
To me though, it looks like a game.
It plays really nicely.
It's a game. It looks like I will absolutely never play. It's a platformer. No interest in it already. It just looks
there's a heavy puzzle. There's a heavy puzzle element and shooter element to it, mate. So it's good. So I would estimate I'm halfway through that.
I'll finish that
because it feels nice to play. It's good. You what, mate?
Was that a dig at me that I don't know how to do puzzles?
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah, it's decent. It's decent. I'll keep on with that. I'm happy with that one. And that's me.
Excellent. Cool. Good month.
Well, I finished a game, so yeah, it probably is for me.
Actually finished as well, not just like, oh, fuck this shit, I'm bored, and I'm off.
Yeah, that's a good one for you, Dave. Duane, have you got any games left?
Oh, I've got lots of games left, you bastards. Because I've been down away skiing and kind of doing like house rearranging, I've not really had as much time for gaming this month as some of you appear to have. So I've still been plugging away at Recore on the Xbox One. I thought I was close. I was close to the end, and then some ridiculous fetch quest opened up. And you think the one in the Wind Waker was annoying? This one is far worse. So I managed to complete the fetch quest, and then I'm like, okay, right, on to the end. And then I get into the tower, which is the last part of the game to get up to the final boss. And then there are 5 floors. I had to Google because I was on floor 3. I'm like, how many of these fucking floors are there? There are 5 floors, so I'm halfway through that. And it's the most ridiculously hard platforming sections I've ever played in any game. So basically it's like platforms that appear, rotate, switch, fizzle, and God knows what else. And you have to kind of like jump really quickly and kind of time these things perfectly. So I don't know if any of you, probably not, played Super Mario Sunshine on the GameCube. The premise of that, you had this water backpack which allowed you to kind of like extend jumps and stuff. It's kind of like a weird safety net, but within the game there are like platforming sections which were like suspended in like a space kind of thing. So if you fell off, and that was it. But they took away your water backpack, so you didn't have that as a safety net. So it's like pure platform, and it was actually they're really hard but really enjoyable. This is kind of that times 10. It's actually really, really hard, and then every now and again you get like a big expanded floor where you get like shit tons of enemies thrown at you, and they all kind of attack you at once, and there's no kind of like pattern that you can learn. You just have to basically just keep plugging away until you get it. I am enjoying it, but it's taking me quite a fair bit of time, so I'm hoping to get that one finished hopefully before we record again. We'll see. But I have, since I've rearranged our spare room / my gaming room, set up the VR, my PSVR. And a game I bought just before this started, which was a VR title. We decided to fire up, the girlfriend and I decided we were going to play this together, so take it in turns with the VR. So I said, okay, well, you go first. You have first shot at like doing this. Within 5 minutes, she's like, I feel really sick. Like, really, really sick. And I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, some people get sick with VR. That's fine. I'll just like take over. You can kind of like just like watch and kind of like contribute. Because it's like first person. Did I tell you it's Transference? It's called. So it's kind of like the first person puzzly horror walkie simulator type thing. I'm actually really, really enjoying it. But I put the headset on, and within 5 minutes, I'm like, oh man, I'm feeling really sick. So luckily, you can play it in not VR. So we're playing it in not VR now. I think we're about halfway-ish 2/3. So it doesn't look like it's very long. Looking at the trophies,
it's a famous film actor, isn't it? Who's involved in that game as well? What's his name? Wasn't he in Lord of the Rings? Or I thought there was some.
Not that
I need to look this up.
Not that I was aware of, but I could be wrong. I've just if the main character guy that you see in video footage and stuff is I don't recognise him. And the other thing that we've been playing since I set it up is there's a board game which has been transferred to being playable on the PlayStation 4 using I think what they call Link Play. So you can play it on your phone or your tablet. So I sit with my iPad, she sits with her generic Android, whatever it is. Non-name brand. Actually, I think it's the Samsung. I bought it for it. But anyway, so you kind of have it's a Ticket to Ride, which I don't know if any of you played as a board game. It's good fun. I really enjoy it.
It's famous board. It's a
great board game. Love it. But anyway, you play it so that you have the board essentially on the screen and you have your hands and cards on your tablet and you can kind of like put your cards down on your tablet. And anyway, so we've been playing it since I've set it up in the room. And actually, it's quite nice and we're happy with how it's laid out now, eventually, after many attempts at getting this room to try to be right, get the layout right. Anyway,
many attempts at putting the shelves up,
and then I've put the shelves up and I've mounted the TV, so nothing can be moved now. It has to stay as it is. But anyway, yeah, we've been enjoying Ticket to Ride, so we've been playing that quite a bit on a Saturday morning.
Playlink's absolutely brilliant because
it's awesome.
Uses Playlink as well.
Yeah, it's absolutely awesome.
So we have like a family day. Like, well, 4 of us will be playing Uno on the telly and all that. We don't need physical Uno.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, so but apparently it looks like they've done a big update because we hadn't played it for a while, and then we kind of we haven't played this for a while. Let's like fire it up, and it looks like they've done a massive update and incorporated some kind of online component. So I don't know if that's any good because I don't know anybody who has it. None of you guys have it. What? That's weird. So I've got a game that you don't have.
No. I'm going to look that up actually because I might put that on the list.
No, I should. I think it's on sale at the moment.
Just buy it, Stu.
Yeah, but you've already cheated. Just buy it for your son. Same with you, Dave. You can buy it as well.
Yeah, play it with your son, Stu.
It's good bonding time.
You packer.
But yeah, so that's just me. That's all the gaming I've done. So actually, been quite quiet, really. I will move on once I've eventually finished this fucking game. I'm enjoying it, but it's a fucking game. It's been fucking hard in places.
Duane, if you're not,
I'm liking it. I'm liking it.
I thought we'd get a month where we didn't have to hear that.
I am enjoying it, but it's just challenging, and I'm dying lots. But it doesn't mean I'm not enjoying it. It just means it's more of a challenge than you're used to.
Mate, you've been slagging it off.
I'm not slagging it off.
Oh, you know, the worst bit is, right, obviously, I'm not buying it, but on the PSN store now, that's only £6.39. Now, that last year would have been, buy, fuck it, buy. Whatever,
yeah, buy it. $6.39, it's nothing.
No, I'm not going to buy it now, am I, obviously? But
just buy it. Just buy it.
No.
You've already cheated.
Buy it.
Fuck off. I haven't cheated.
Buy it for your son.
I've added it to my wish list. There you go.
Stu might as well get hung for a sheep as for a lamb.
I've done nothing wrong. Anyway, moving on.
You're not much better, Packer.
That was my August gaming. Not very exciting, sorry. But yeah. Pandemic and earthquake, I think.
Excellent.
Trumps everything.
Have you got any left, Duane?
Fuck, I got loads left. Fucking loads left. Wanker. Anyway, it's time for a kip, I think.
Okay.
Why? Because I've got to tell you my games. So I've done my usual Call of Duty Warzone, FIFA stuff,
Didn't
as
you
always.
say, let me pull your phone. Did you say you've had enough of Call of Duty? I swear on a podcast previous, you said you've done with it. And every time I've seen you online, all you've been playing is Call of Duty.
No, well, that's fine. You go, I'm done with this game. And then you, after a couple of weeks, you're like, let's get back into it. You know, I'm sure you do that with The Division, don't you?
No, just in Division all the time.
Just play it all the time. Okay.
Let's face it, none of us have learned anything from this experience.
No. So I have completed another chapter of first season of The Walking Dead. think there was 5 chapters in that first game, I think. So do the maths there, 40% through. But I have completed 2 games this month.
Excellent.
So one was a point and click game that I played on a PC. Years ago. Day of the Tentacle.
Oh yeah. Great game. Yeah.
Really good game. And it's one of those ones where sometimes you think, how do people complete this?
Mm.
Some of the things you have to do. So I completed that. I did that whilst I was dog sitting. I'd started it a couple of months ago, and I took the opportunity to use it. And it took ages because it is one of those things that you just kind of have to walk around and try things. Like you're in 3 different times. 3 different characters in 3 different times, and in the future, the tentacles have taken over, and you have to win a human contest. Or who looks the most human, but you can't use yourself. Obviously, you're disguised as a tentacle.
James, you wouldn't win that in real life.
But in order to disguise yourself as a tentacle, you have to go back to the person who you're controlling in the past and get them to change the plans of the American flag so that in the future the flag is tentacle shape, so you can put it on in the future and get out of a prison you're in. And then to win the human contest, you have to use a mummy, and you have to put fake teeth in it, which you have to get from the doctor in prison. You have to put hair on it, but in order to put hair on it, you have to get spaghetti that is in the present, flush it down the toilet, which is what they use to travel through time. And by flushing it down the toilet, it gets wet, and then you style it on the mummy's head. And then another one is you have to get a laughing box out of a clown in the present time as well. And to win the human contest, they judge it on best hair, best smile, and best laugh.
It sounds like the PT demo all over that, doesn't it? It's like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, but Richard's audio dropped out a couple of times during recording, so it might sound a little odd in parts, which isn't new. He just asked if James had used a guide.
I looked at one. I looked at one, which was which was the mummy one. No, it was the hair, yeah. Because I remember the laughing box one simply because the laughing box is in one of those clowns. It's an inflatable clown with a round bottom. It's sort of a cone type shape. One of those things that you punch and it recoils back to you. So it's weighted at the bottom.
Like a weeble.
Yeah. You punch it, it recoils back at you, whacks you in the face, and then laughs. So obviously, once you know what you have to do, you need to, best laugh, you have to get the laughing box. And to get the laughing box, you need to pop the thing, and you've got a scalpel. And you just think, I wonder what happens if I use this scalpel on this inflatable thing. And he pops it. And then you get your laughing box, and you're like, oh, now I know where I can get that laughing box. What I can use that laughing box for. But yeah, I did. I used a walkthrough on the hair. But most because I'd played it before, to be fair, I did remember most of it. So, yeah, good game. Really, really fun. And then the other game I finished was The Last of Us.
Oh, excellent.
Nice.
I'll say one there. I presume it's one. That's just one, yeah.
Yeah, because obviously I can't buy number 2. So I will, January, I will absolutely be buying that.
No spoilers, but did you like it?
That is a brilliant game.
Hey, excellent. I love that game too.
Do I love it as much as Horizon Zero Dawn? No. Did I? But it was a brilliant game. Really good fun. Really good.
Was you satisfied with the ending?
Yes. I enjoyed it. Well, wasn't I satisfied with the ending? It's good. It's good. It's a good cliffhanger. And with The Last of Us 2, it's a bit difficult because obviously, I know with The Last of Us 2 being out that, and I've avoided most spoilers, but I know the premise of, why she's on her own now.
Oh, I don't even know that. I've kept away from it.
Oh, well, there you go. Spoiler.
No, all you said is why she's left over. I didn't.
I played it a little bit here, And as I said, this was last, not in August, this was in July. And I got to not long after the woman that you're with dies. What's her name?
The one near the start.
Your initial
Tess.
Yes.
Tess.
That's it. Yeah, that's the one.
Her. So it wasn't long after she popped her clogs. And then, because I was dog sitting for a week, I had hours, literally hours.
Were you in a different house though?
Yes, I was dog sitting in my in-laws, and they've got 2 chihuahuas, and they just sleep, so it's great. So I literally would, because I'd work from there, because I was still working, so I'd work during the day. I'd come home, see the kids and the wife for a few hours, and then go back around about 8 o'clock. And then turn it off till like 2 o'clock in the morning.
I'm going to find
Living the
myself some
dream.
fucking dogs to sit. This sounds brilliant.
Yeah, so I got through it then. Really enjoyed it. Absolutely brilliant.
Cool.
Some of it I like. I'm like you, Stu. I do like the sneaky stuff.
Yeah.
I always loved Assassin's Creed. The thing that pissed me off with Assassin's Creed was the fact that you had to ride your horse everywhere, and it took way too long initially. So I really, really enjoyed it. Really good fun.
Cool.
Really.
Oh, I'm really happy that you got
the
that
second
game.
one.
I mean, I understand not everybody, and it is also an overhyped game, so a lot of people, they'll play it and they go, oh, is that it? But it is a great game.
That was one of my concerns, because obviously The Last of Us 2 would come out. Everyone was rehashing their memories of playing The Last of Us 1 and everything like that. But, just like Horizon Zero Dawn, really enjoyed it. The hype, I felt it lived up to the hype.
Oh, awesome! Oh, that's nice.
Brilliant.
Excellent.
Really enjoyed it.
I don't think it's overhyped. The Last of Us one, I don't think it is.
Oh no, but everybody, but it's
everybody.
one of those. It's like a film. Well, for me, it affects me. Like if anybody really overhypes it, I go in there going, "This is going to be amazing." I watch it and go, "Oh, is that it?"
But when did you play it, Dave?
It was a few years ago, to be fair.
Yeah, see, so I literally avoided any hype or anything about it until I bought it, and then speaking to obviously people in MLG, like, have you not played that already? And blah blah blah. So, I never had it on the PS3. I bought it last year when it was on the PSN store, and it was 10 quid.
It's about 10, isn't it? Yeah.
Something like that. That's the only reason I bought it. It's the same reason I've got The Witcher. They were really, really cheap. So, and as I said in the last podcast, I do like playing the solo games, but I'm just so I just am so much. I just play the multiplayer games all the time. But when I sit down and play an individual game, generally I really get into it. I really enjoy them.
All right,
that's a couple of big ones you've chalked off so far this year.
I don't know what my next one. I need to pick another one now. I need to pick another. I might do another poll on because that's how I chose Horizon Zero Dawn. Was I did a poll.
Oh, okay.
So I might do another Facebook poll, because I've got The Witcher to do.
That'll see you out to the end of the year, won't it?
So many big games.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's the thing. So I don't know.
Yeah, we ain't got long now.
Yeah,
lads.
that was.
We ain't got long now.
No, not at all. We're in 1st of September, 4 months. So that was my month.
Excellent. Nice one.
Top stuff.
Good work.
So, absolutely. Thank you very much. So what we'll do is we will move on, and I'll just keep talking, because everyone's enjoying listening to my soothing and sensual voice. So we'll move on to New Games with James. I'm going to follow a very similar pattern to what I did last month, where I've just picked 3 games, and we'll just discuss them.
Let's have it.
Plus, also because that's it.
I'm looking forward to this. Come on, let's have it.
So, game number 1 is Outbreak: The New Nightmare, PS4 and Xbox. That is it's third person, and it looks very, very similar to the original Resident Evil games, and it plays the storyline is very, very similar. You're trapped in a memorial hospital after a viral outbreak, and zombies and other creatures are running around, and you've got to run around and survive and uncover the source of the outbreak.
Has anybody here heard of that game?
The reason I picked it is because there's Duane's interest in Resident Evil.
So I thought your requisites before was because you liked them. And I was thinking, do you like this game?
No. No. I picked this one because I thought, it reminded me of when I was watching Duane play Resident Evil 2.
There was one for the deck way back in January.
Yeah.
It's in VR. Did you say VR? Did I? Oh, it's VR. Yeah, it's VR.
Oh, there you go. I did not know that. Did my homework.
Actually, it looks quite cool. Yeah, looks all right.
Yeah, it does. It's very dark, as in the atmospheric. It's very dark. Your gunshots light the room up, that sort of thing. It looks. If you like those sorts of games, it looks like a very interesting game.
Oh, you know what though? It's perfect for the aim controller, and it doesn't look like it supports it. Bloody hell! What a piece of shit that!
Horror.
What a waste of money that for was.
Mate, I paid £60 for that fucker.
So it is a really good bit of kit, and why don't more games use it? Oh, anyway, sorry, James.
Who knows?
Sorry.
And yeah, that's out now on PS4 and Xbox. Second one is Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Oh, no, yeah.
Which is obviously already out on PC. Don't know when it's coming out on Xbox, but I haven't seen an announcement as to when yet.
What talk about this?
Pardon?
There's a lot of talk about this on the Facebook group.
I played Flight Simulator a long time ago, probably when you lot were still in your late 30s. But
hey.
There's different levels of you can buy. You can buy a standard version, deluxe version, all that sort of shit, and that depends on how many playable aircraft you have. I think you get 20 with the bog standard version, and then 5 tack on if you buy the next level up, and then another 5 after that. So it's 30. There are 30, 35 or 40 detailed airports around the world, depending on which version you get. But then there are 37,000 airports.
Oh, it's mad, isn't it?
In the game that have been manually edited from satellite images.
My favourite bit of the game though is they're going and they're using Bing Maps, and then everybody just goes, "What? Really?" But there's obviously like the modding community have already like put Google Maps into it now. I think so on the PC version, yeah.
So when I was younger, I loved Flight Simulator. But when I was younger, I was the sort of person who would put on the Formula 1 games and put them onto the max race distance and then race for 2.5 hours. So sitting there and flying a plane from here to the south of Spain for a couple of hours.
Well, what's the what's the attraction for a game like this then?
I like the idea of being able to take control of a plane. I've watched people play these sorts of games, and you have people who pose as air traffic control people. You're essentially a pilot, and you do all that pilot bullshit where you say, I don't know, flight blah blah blah, ready for takeoff, and then you wait for the air traffic controller to say, right, taxi to runway blah blah blah. That sort of stuff. And then you fly your plane off to wherever you're flying.
This is Flight Charlie Uniform November Tango.
Yeah.
Thanks, Duane. Thanks, Duane. Cheers.
You absolute... Not saying it.
No, on there is a score table, but the game's not about... The game is just flying a plane. That's it. It's flying a plane, yeah. And if you're into that thing, then it's fantastic. If you're not, then don't play it. So
yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's the sort of game I'm like I would buy when it was cheap, play for a few hours, and then go and then put it away again.
So I would never buy it, but I would like the idea of it. But no, I wouldn't bother. I just wouldn't. It does look amazing. It does look good.
Oh, and the graphics look fantastic.
It does look good. Does look good. Have you seen that? There's a YouTube video going about where it's got from the original 1987 version, and it's got all the versions. It's a really good mix. It's a really good video. Yeah.
I've seen one of those when they do that for like Grand Theft Auto and things like that.
Yeah.
And they're always interesting. Those are. I'll have a look at that. And the third game that's out now is on PC and PS Plus, but it's only on PS Plus for what, 2 or 3 more days? Is Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout.
Yes.
We need to add this to our library, boys.
I think it's down. Yeah. I think it's down available for the next 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. Well, it's Tuesday,
don't miss it. Don't miss it, anyone, because we'll have a session on this in January.
I've actually, it's like one of the first PS Plus games I've added to my library in a long time. I know, right?
Stop the press!
Because I've been watching videos of this and watching like stuff and what people are saying, and it actually looks like a load of fun. I particularly like the people who grief, because that's always fun. So the grabbing technique,
when people are trying to,
people just grab them and they just like launch themselves off. So they take themselves down, but take somebody else with them. Inspired, love it.
It's amazing. Well,
it's like it's a knockout without the paedophile announcer.
But I agree with Dave's idea of. What was your idea of having a sesh at the beginning of the year?
Yeah, man. January session when it's all over and we can get games again. We'll have a drunken Fall Guys session.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I think that's a really good idea.
That sounds awesome.
And Duane has actually got the game. Well, no, it's in his library.
It's in my library.
He's not cheated. It's in his library. He's ready to go. But
Rich, you need to get it in your library.
Yeah, I need to do that immediately.
As a quick aside, do you guys remember the Fall Guy, the 1980s TV show? I love that show. Loved it.
I did.
About the stuntman.
Is it Lee Majors?
Lee Majors.
He played. Who did he play
remember.
at this point?
In the Fall Guy.
Yeah, it was
he also the?
He was, yeah.
He was a stuntman. He was the unknown stuntman.
Yeah.
What was the name of his character?
Don't know.
No,
one knows, Dave. Come on.
Do you know?
Colt Seavers.
Oh, Colt Seavers, yeah.
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 Thanks for that useless bit of trivia, Dave.
I'll tell you what, you lot are fucking useless.
So
yes, we are, and we pride ourselves on it.
We are.
Remind me never to get in a pub quiz team with you lot.
Listen, I've always said I'm shit at quizzes, so
Daniel's not shit at quizzes.
No.
I won the last one, motherfucker.
That includes New Games with James.
Yeah, well done. That was all right. That
nice one, mate.
Wasn't too boring. I didn't fall asleep.
Hey, I apologise to the families with children. Now, it's time for the best part of this show. Dave is challenged.
Dave is challenged.
And I'd like to say that this month was my pick. Dave and I would go head to head. We opened it up for the community, and everyone
Nobody
joined us. Nobody turned up. It's very sad, unfortunately.
Dave must have been away.
Yeah. And so I picked Trackmania Turbo. It's a game that Dave and I had played a while ago together before. Well, it was last year, wasn't it, Dave? Before Year of Shame, I think, probably.
Yeah.
We played it a while ago. Game I liked, game Dave liked. And as I had bigged myself up on the previous podcast, I'd purposely...
Massively.
Oh, yeah. I checked my record against my friends list, and as I was beating everybody, and beating Dave 33-0 or whatever it was, I was fairly confident that I would wipe the floor with him. So I picked 12 tracks. First 2 were a warm-up, and then we went straight in. And it was
I sort of came in about 10 minutes in, but I couldn't work out what fuck was going on.
So basically,
I was losing, mate. That's what was going on.
Well, it didn't seem that bad, but
I tried to pick tracks that the time was give or take 5-10 seconds. It took 30 seconds or so to complete the track, and then you had 5 minutes to set your best time per track. So you'd load into the track, and then you'd have 5 minutes to set your best time. And then at the end of the 5 minutes, obviously winner was the person who had the best time, and then that was repeated on every track. And it didn't go well for Dave.
Sorry,
I was close. Where I watched maybe 3 or 4 tracks, and there were a couple where it was.
I'll just say I can't see James's bottom half on the video feed, but I'm putting money on the fact that he's got an erection right now.
I was fully expecting. I was 99.9% positive that I was going to beat him 12-0. Yeah. And it transpired that I beat him 12-0. It was. I will give it. There was one track where Dave was 0.2, or was it 0.02 of a second behind me, and I could not better my time. And I was at that point I was a little concerned that Dave might get one, but luck was on my side, and he didn't, and that was the closest he got.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I think I watched that one, and was that the one where you went through and then there was a long sort of skiddy bend at the end. Like a drifting corner. Is that what all the tracks are like? I mean, it's
not all of them. So I tried
different vehicles as well.
There are 4 different vehicles. There's a car that drifts. There's a buggy. There's 2 buggies actually. One buggy is quite difficult to control. The other one goes around corners like it's on rails, but that still makes it quite difficult to control. And then there's what I can only describe as a car that vaguely resembles a Formula 1 car. So I tried to pick every class, and I hated the dune buggy one. I always did. So there was probably more drift than I realised. There was only 2 Formula 1 car, and then I don't know 2 or 3 of the others, but they were all in there. So it wasn't just me playing to my strengths. And yeah, it was a killing. It was a massacre.
Dave, how did you feel it went?
I've got 3 things to say about this scenario. Thing 1 is that Trackmania Turbo is a really fun game to play, actually. It's good fun. Stu, you had a go as well. Good fun game to play, and I played it before when it kind of first came on PS Plus. To be fair to James, he's challenged me on it. It's made me download it and play it again, and I really enjoyed it actually. So I'll play a bit more of that. So that's thing number 1. I want to say. The second thing I want to say about actually I've forgotten the second thing I want to say.
Say the third and see.
So I may move on to the third thing I want to say about Trackmania Turbo. Is that it was James's challenge, and controversial opinion, I think that he bottled it.
On what planet can that make sense except you and Donald Trump?
As he said, he looked at he looked at all the stats beforehand. He chose something he absolutely could not lose on.
Isn't that the point?
What is it? I don't know. Maybe he should have picked something where it would have been a bit closer. I don't know. There's an element of he bottled it because he chose something that it was won before. Have
you turned into the man now? Oh, if I was better at the game, if I had practiced more, if it was a different game.
No, I never said that. What I'm saying is, James chose something that he 100% knew that he was going to win before it even started.
Why would he pick something he wasn't going to win?
Have you picked it? I'm unsure of whether you've picked something you think you can win at, but have you, Dave?
I picked Resogun last month. I knew I was going to win.
Pure Pool, you picked that because you thought you were going to win.
Pure Pool, yeah. Okay, yeah, right. I realise I am on shaky ground.
You're not even on ground, mate. It's not shaky. It's just not even ground.
But yeah, and it was, to be fair, it was close and it wasn't close because, like James has said, a couple of them it was within a couple of hundredths of a second or whatever. But within that game, a second within Trackmania Turbo might as well be a fucking year, to be honest, because such are the margins. So, congratulations, James.
Thanks. All I can say, Dave, an inch or a mile, winning is winning.
Exactly. But
it was 12-0.
You played it safe, and you chose something you were going to win.
Of course I played it safe. I was absolutely going to go with a game that I absolutely fully expected to wipe the floor with you on.
This is why you have every other challenge. It's your challenge, so you can get your own back.
Which is a great segue into what is your challenge?
Yes, that's a good point. So now you've lost again, and we'll just do a quick update on score update.
Yeah,
8 months in.
Please do.
You've, I believe, won 2?
From 8? Is it 2 from 8?
2 from 8, and I believe both of the ones you've won have been your picks, and they've been your strongest picks, I believe. Is that right?
25% success rate.
But that was what I mean. I think you've got your 2 strongest picks already done, haven't you?
Well, hang on a minute, have I?
There you go, we'll see.
And you've lost 6.
So if you win the last 4, you can only draw.
You can only be 50%. So
that would be a win compared to where we thought Dave would be.
to be fair, I'm classing it. I've classed it as a win. He could lose the next 4, and I'd class it as a win. He's won. So Dave.
So for this month's Dave is challenged. I have chosen, because he hasn't been involved that much, I've chosen to challenge Duane.
Ooh. Okay, what have we got?
And I'll tell you now, it is a challenge finding a game that fucker owns.
Is that the challenge?
Well, you've won already.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. But not only have I found a game that Duane owns, I found a game that I think all of us own, apart from Rich, but he probably does own it. Somewhere he probably owns the company that made it, and he just hasn't realised.
God, suspense is killing me.
I cannot believe I'm going to say this. I cannot believe, because I'm opening myself up to potentially
more ridicule.
No,
that's not possible.
What are we doing? Come on, bring it.
Yeah.
I cannot believe I'm going to say it, but this month's Davis Challenge is going to be Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare.
Wow.
1 or 2 or whatever it is.
I'm going to have to throw a spanner in the works here. I actually don't have it here in New Zealand with me. That's one of the ones I left behind.
What's wrong with this bloke? Oh my!
Get it posted.
God. Even the
By
games
the time
he's
it gets here, it's going to be fucking November.
Even the games he's got.
He doesn't even own the games he owns.
That has got to be the title for this podcast. This episode has got to be even the games he's got, he hasn't got.
It's just it's unbelievable.
He's not got games, he's got.
He didn't need to do the challenge. He's actually come on this show to actually troll us. That's the only reason he's on this show.
Oh, Dave, that's so fucking funny.
That's amazing.
He's got that few games. He hasn't even got the games he's got. Oh my god.
And in a twist of irony, I do have that game.
I didn't bring it with me. It's a game I played whilst I had it in the UK, and I didn't. It's not one which I was like, I would have to take that with me because I love playing it. So I just.
See, I didn't know you could get it on disc. I thought it was a download.
No, it's on disc.
But
I didn't know. Okay.
But because let's invoke a bit of rulage here then. Because Duane owns this game, technically somewhere in the world.
No, you're not having a walkover.
No, but he can rebuy it.
I believe that's okay because he already owns it. That's fine. But that's up to now Duane whether he can be asked to go and get it.
Well, also depends on how much it is.
Yeah, that's
as well.
true.
Well, let's take it offline and have a think, and then post it on the Facebook group what we're actually going to do.
Good idea.
Let's debate it now.
That's just mate. That I can't believe it. That is so typical of you.
That's amazing.
It's just sitting on a dusty shelf
It's
somewhere
just
in
find
England.
a game that you've got, and you haven't even got it.
But you have. But you don't.
Mate.
I
But you have
do
got
have it, but I
you
don't
haven't.
have it.
That is absolutely brilliant.
Excellent.
Oh, that was
so
class.
I don't know what to say about that.
we will we'll take that discussion offline. We'll update the Facebook page. But
So potentially this month's Davis Challenge will be Plants. What is it? Plants vs Zombies. Garden Warfare 1, 2, or 3.
I think I've got one.
I
I'm
would.
pretty sure it's one. I didn't get any of the others.
But I am not. I guarantee you, I'm not playing that game unless I'm pissed, and you lot aren't either.
Fair enough.
We're gonna stream it, and we're gonna be drunk.
Okay.
And Duane may or may not be in
There.
I don't know.
Excellent. Well, that concludes Davis Challenge. Another fantastic segment, as always. We'll move on to the next segment, which is Question Time with Mr. Pearson.
Oh yeah, it's Duane's mini question time.
Yeah.
Go.
So, before we start with these, just a quick thing I need to address. I think when I did my little quiz for you guys last month, I did maybe hint that there might be a prize involved because I was feeling a little bit generous. So, Dave, there's a prize coming your way. Check your Facebook Messenger now. Sending.
Free copy of Plants vs Zombies.
So
you just got to go and pick it up.
What I'll say is that
From a different continent.
that's a full 6 inches, and you can do with it what you want.
Mate, I love a 6-incher.
Oh, I'm gonna have to pick. I'm gonna have to look.
No,
it's
it's just on his because I'm not sending it to the group.
Oh,
I'm not telling you what that actually is,
okay.
but I'm hoping you can figure out what to do with it.
Dave, do you want to describe it without naming it?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's quite veiny, and it's got like a really purple end.
Okay.
Is it someone's gran?
Someone's gran,
Yeah.
mate. That's sick.
What is it then?
No, to be fair, Duane has sent me a code. It's a selection of numbers and digits, which is either the code for a game or it's the password to some really dodgy fucking website. I'll find out later and let you boys know. Thank you, Duane. That's very
but
kind
remember,
of
if it's a
you.
game.
I hope you use it well.
Ooh, if it's a game.
It's not a game. It's not a
Good
game.
point, good point, Stu.
Sabotage.
Anyway,
It's
what's the questions?
I know you would have no problem doing that, Stu, but the rest of us might.
I'll be honest. It's a prize and also a little bit of low-level trolling.
Low level.
I look forward to finding
You
out
will have
what it
to
is.
reveal
Right,
all
so
of the
on
next
with community
podcast.
questions. Right, so our
Excellent.
first one is from Adam Boyne, and it's a straightforward. If we were doing You're a Shame 2020, but for movies instead of games, what film would we use as our Joker? Let's start with Dave for this one.
Well, I've seen mine. I saw mine the other day. Actually, it would be Tenet. I love Christopher Nolan films. I think all his films are ace, with the possible exception of Dunkirk.
Dunkirk's a brilliant film.
It's just a bit. It was a bit ordinary. I think it's a bit.
I still haven't watched that.
It wasn't. It's every other film he's done. Most of his films have had a sci-fi element to them, which I love that stuff. Dunkirk didn't. But yeah, it would have been Tenet. So I've been looking forward to that film for ages, and having seen it, it's all right.
I've been looking forward to it for ages, and having seen it, it's all right.
It's all right. It's all right.
It's
Well,
all right.
It's not his best. It's not his worst. It's all right.
Amazing.
Right, are these films which have been made, or are these films which I can sort of hoping they would be made?
Films that have, I think.
Actual films, mate.
I think it's from watching films.
What movie that's going to be out potentially this year would you use as your Joker?
You know what? I'm not a movie kind of guy. I don't really keep up on stuff like that. I mean, without sounding really rubbish, but it would be Tenant. Only because that's the only film I'm seeing tomorrow. I don't know. No idea. Maybe a new Star Wars film.
That's the only film you're seeing tomorrow.
No. But that's the only. Yeah, I did say it wrong, didn't I? No, but that's the only thing which is on my mind at the moment. But I don't know, maybe a Star Wars film. Even though I hate Disney and what they fucking have done to something I absolutely love, but it's like. I don't know. It's is it what's that? Is it Munchausen's thing where you got sympathetic for your captors or what? It's just like, oh god, they keep on fucking this up, and I just keep on watching it. Maybe it's that. I don't know. I don't know. If it was not a made up film, but I would love, and I would. Do you remember a film called Silent Running?
Yes.
Yeah. So. If you got a memory of that film, don't rewatch it. Just have the memory, because it's a fantastic film in the memory. I rewatched it a few years ago. It's an awful film. But my memory as a kid, it was one of the best films in the world. If they remade that, or there was a sequel, well, I can't see there being a sequel because it wouldn't work as a sequel. But if they remade it, then that would definitely be one I'll be like up for. So,
Stuart's completely misunderstood this question.
It's like the human centipede question all over again. Moving on.
Oh god, that one was really fucked up. That was
Richard.
Oh dear.
I have to say, I think that 2020 has been an absolute dearth of bullshit in films. I can't think of a single film that I've wanted to watch, let alone one that I would play as a Joker. It would be 2020 for me would be the easiest year of shame to do. A little bit like the games, I guess, but I mean, at least there's 2 or 3 games that I'm really looking forward to, Last of Us 2 and all that kind of stuff, but I cannot think of a single film that has piqued my interest. But my cinemas have mainly been shut anyway. I don't know if but I don't know any that's even been bumped to next year, which I thought, I mean, what has? Mulan. It's all Marvel films. The cinema is just so poor right now. And if you don't like Marvel, then what have you got looking forward to? So sorry if I'm miserable about it, but I do love my films. I cannot name a single one I cared about this year. And it was pretty bad last year.
I think you've got a fair point going there with the state of cinema at the moment.
Maybe that should have been my answer. Maybe.
Too late. Too late.
I think.
Too late.
Rather than
maybe just waffling on because I think I've got to talk.
James,
I'm like Stu. I'm not a big film person. Like, I don't go out of my way to watch films. I might go to cinema now and then, but very rarely. But Tenet was always interesting. I liked A Quiet Place, so I was looking forward to A Quiet Place too. And I like the Marvel films, so Black Widow. But
would you be hankering to watch it, or you could probably let it pass by?
Not really. I think the only reason I went to watch the Infinity War was because I took my son to watch it at the cinema. I don't think, and none of the other Marvel films I saw at the cinema, all the other ones I watched on the television. So it would probably have been A Quiet Place too.
Yeah,
because I enjoyed that film. But then again, I probably still wouldn't have hankered to watch it at the cinema anyway.
What about you, Duane?
Well, I went to see. I went to talk about A Quiet Place first. I went to see that at the movies, and it was actually kind of ruined slightly for me by the fact that I could hear one of the Avengers films playing next door, which was really fucking loud, and somebody behind me was eating sweets. Russell. And it's like you're completely detracting from the
Oh,
the
lovely.
atmosphere of this movie. It's just. But anyway, I think which is meant to be quiet. So,
And
Which is meant to be quiet.
that would drive me insane. The only way that could be made worse is do you have to go and actually watch the Avengers film?
those things aren't normally an issue because everything's so loud. You can't hear the movies playing next door. You can't hear people munching away on their popcorns and their treats and whatever. So it's fine. But for that movie, it's just not a cinema movie theatre movie because it's just too loud. Anyway, for me, this is actually a bit of a no-brainer. Dune. And I'm really, really hoping it doesn't get pushed back. That's all I'm going to say. If it gets...
Oh, hang on. Is June?
It's like the 8th or 18th of December. It's out just before Christmas.
It's meant to be.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Then I really thought that was
it's still slated for that release, but whether
that
actually
is a
happens, we'll see. But I'm really hoping so because I really want to see it.
Well, June definitely falls in that for me. Then I agree.
Denis Villeneuve, he's got
he's done some good movies, so I'm excited for that. It should be good. Right, so it's moving on to the next one. Daryl Smith. This is actually quite, I think, good question to ask at this point. Actually, 8 months in, what's your favourite game removed from your piles so far? Also, and might well be the same, but are there any games that you've picked from your pile that really surprised you? Start with Stuart.
I think I enjoyed Assassin's Creed Odyssey most of all. That was the one I finished at the beginning of the year as well. And everybody knows, I spent about 100 odd hours in there, and without the DLC. So in next year, I'm planning on buying the DLC as well. So hopefully I'll be going through that. But the one which surprised me was, which I already mentioned this evening, was the Burial at Sea Part 1. Completely didn't realise I'd never played it, and I absolutely love it, and I can't wait to get back to it. It's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, there are my answers.
Cool.
Nice, short and sweet.
James?
That's easy. Horizon Zero Dawn. By far and away. It's probably by far and away my favourite game I've played since Destiny 1. To be fair. There's no other game other than when I cleared the Skolas mission on Destiny 1 that's given me a euphoric high. But there's no games before Horizon Zero Dawn that I've completed that I've sat there and gone, whoa, God, that was fucking good. That might be my favourite game of all time, actually. I might put that might be my... Look, only playing The Last of Us, playing other game, it might be my most favourite. I'm tempted to put it back on and go through it on the ultimate difficulty level just to get the platinum for it. But... and game that's most surprised me, I don't know why. I don't really have one. I think what's most surprised me was that I did Pack of 5, Mirror's Edge.
Yeah, it is.
Whatever
it
was,
shit
because it's fucking bollocks. Oh, I played it and I tried and I went.
So that was surprising in a bad way then.
I can't.
The first Mirror's Edge was great, wasn't it?
The first Mirror's Edge was okay. It was okay. The second one. No, wank.
Speaking of, Dave?
Fucking hell. Right, so the favourite game off the pile. My favourite game has probably been Streets of Rage 4, because that's brilliant, but that wasn't on my pile, because that was a gift. So, favourite game off the pile would be... what's it called? I forgot what it's called. Outer Worlds, of course. Outer Worlds. Love that. I know Rich hated it, but I loved it. I thought it was brilliant.
I liked it. I thought it was a good game.
Probably most surprising game was Streets of Rage 4 because I knew I'd like it, but not as much as I did. I was playing some of it tonight, to be honest. It got so much longevity for essentially what's a beat 'em up. It's great. So, there we go.
Okay, Richie.
The Witcher, the one I'm most proud of, completed, because that was a monster. Excuse the pun. That was hanging around for ages, and getting through that was the that's the one I always remember Year of Shame for. I think committing to that one. The one that surprised me most, a bit like James, The Outer Worlds was the one that surprised me in a bad way, because some of its parts didn't add up to what I thought the parts. So they're all the bits of the games I thought were great, and when it was put together, it just didn't. No matter how much I pushed through it, I didn't like that at all. And the one that's most pleased me was probably Ace Combat 7, because once I committed to getting through it, it's an awesome game. Without the Year of Shame, I wouldn't have pushed on through. But it's one of those games when you got through and just went, actually, that's a wholeheartedly an enjoyable experience. So yeah, Ace Combat 7, I think.
Did you play that with just the controller, or did you play with the joystick?
In fact, yeah, that would be something to get, and like the race, like not Grand Theft Auto,
Gran
Turismo. Yeah, I would love to play that game, but I cannot. I just want to get the full, steering wheel. But again, as I've said before, with the peripherals and with the joystick, I just don't have the setup for it. So it would be literally Ace. But no, just with the joystick. But just the mission structure and the way it keeps you just on the edge of not thinking you can do it and then pulling it off, very pleasing.
Duane?
So for me, I think somebody's mentioned it before, but Horizon Zero Dawn, just fucking amazing game. Seriously, such a good game. Mm-hmm. I don't think we would need to go over that anymore. Anybody who thinks it's not a good game is wrong.
Back up.
And surprising, actually, I'm going to say Jedi Fallen Order, in as much as that they've actually created a game that feels very Star Wars without really having any kind of the main Star Wars characters in it. So they've created like a fresh new story that feels authentically Star Wars without any of the things you would expect. Okay, I know. Okay, spoiler alert: Darth Vader's at the end, but it pretty much carries itself.
Which is it the same people who did Titanfall 2, isn't it?
It's one of the EA houses. But yeah, it's a good, solid game. It's a good game, and it's a good Star Wars game. So that actually really surprised me. Because sometimes when you have these Star Wars games, which are kind of like offshoot characters, they're kind of not always the best. But this actually really holds up. Definitely. So last set of questions from David Southall, who chucked these in this evening. Nice quick one. What would your death row meal be? Obviously, being that Richard's a real foodie. Richard?
Nando's.
Okay. Stuart?
Ham sandwich. That's a callback to last month.
No. Ham sandwiches.
It would though be a cheese Illian pasty. Oh, a really good one as well. When the flavours of the top.
It's not very healthy for you though, is it?
I'm going to die anyway. Who cares?
Kill you that one, mate. That's kill you.
Dave?
A really top quality spaghetti bolognese. I love spaghetti bolognese.
James?
KFC. Dirty, nice. Greasy KFC bucket.
Dirty
Absolutely.
Big dirty bucket.
I would like a lovely steak, but then steak's too cliche. So, dirty KFC.
For me, good solid curry, I think.
Mm.
Good solid curry.
A solid curry, a solid one, like a block.
No, like a good quality one. The next one he asks is, what is your dream license for a game? I'm not really sure where to go, so I'm going to think about this one whilst I chuck this one at Dave.
Airwolf.
Oh, good choice. Yes. Fucking hell.
There has been an Airwolf. There's definitely been an Airwolf game. There was one on the Spectrum.
But it would have been in the 80s or early 90s, and it would have been
yeah.
a top quality Airwolf game now.
Was Street Talk ever made us a game?
Airwolf. I used to absolutely love Airwolf, and a game where you could fly Airwolf around.
Rich.
Awesome.
License. Sorry, for a film, for a game. A film license for a game.
Any license for anything for a game.
Okay, definitely The Boys, and it would be a Spider-Man version, but with The Boys.
Yeah, good show, mate.
With
it's that Amazon TV show. It's brilliant.
The Boy. Have you not seen The Boys?
I've not seen it. No, I haven't seen it. No, I know what you mean. No, it's on my list.
Homelander.
It's on my list.
Yeah, absolutely. If you when you watch it, you'll know what I mean. It's absolutely perfect for a license. It would be amazing.
Stuart.
I have not got anything in my head. I am frantically looking and I can't think of anything. Unfortunately, I love the idea of Airwolf. I want Airwolf.
Can't be bastard. That's what I said.
Oh, no. It's so good, though. I want it. You're right. I didn't think I wanted it. I never even thought about it. And now you said it. I fucking want it.
No, you want it.
James, oh my.
So, no, that's the...
James.
Airwolf versus Blue Thunder.
Oh my God.
Fucking Blue Thunder! Fucking, that would be the best game! Right, Adam Boyne, make this happen. Make it happen.
Yeah, come on, Adam.
Get the license for it, make it happen. And you can do a VR version as well, Rich.
Yeah.
Right, you lot make it happen.
Adam, give me a call. I'll buy the license. You make the game.
Rich, you've probably already got the license, mate. You just forgot.
I bought Manimal.
Manimal. Oh my God.
Manimal.
James.
Go on then, Duane.
I really don't know. This is actually a really, really tricky one. I don't know.
Airwolf and Blue Thunder. It's not tricky at all.
I don't know because it's like you kind of want to think of a game which doesn't necessarily fit into kind of like a particular genre because everything gamey has kind of been like done. I really don't know.
It doesn't have to be a TV show, mate. It could be something in real life. It could be a put in the bins out game.
I'd play that.
Odds.
I'd play that.
He wouldn't have it anyway, so I won't worry about it.
I definitely
no,
play
he
that.
ain't got it. Of course he hasn't. No, he hasn't got it. He just hasn't got it. Yeah, he just hasn't got it.
Just haven't got it.
I've got it. I just haven't got it.
I've got it.
He got it with him.
I haven't got it with me.
It's on another continent. Sorry.
Okay, and lastly, this is quite straightforward.
Has anyone asked James that?
No,
James.
I got left out, and I was quite happy about being left out, if I'm honest, because Rich was absolutely spot on with The Boys, because that would be fantastic.
Yeah,
that is I can't wait for the second series
fantastic.
of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we were doing TV Jokers, it would be The Boys that I wouldn't miss out on TV Jokers.
If that drops and that all drops at the same time, there's a good chance I will probably be watching that till I have to wake up the next day.
Yeah, and I don't like Marvel movies, and it's not a Marvel movie, but it's I don't like superhero movies. Yeah.
Right. This is quite a straightforward, quick one-shot answer from everybody. Who could beat Richard Purvis in a rap battle out of the four of us? Stuart.
Dave could.
James.
No one.
Dave.
Go, Dave. Let's battle. Let's battle now.
Yeah. Next live podcast. We'll have a battle.
I'd say Dave. And Richard, who do you think would be your main contender?
I'm going to say Dave. I'm going to rap battle Dave.
Yep.
Is that what the question was?
Yep.
Who am I choosing to rap battle in?
Yeah, that's exactly
challenge?
the question. Yep. Next David challenge
David's
is a rap battle.
challenge. Okay.
I couldn't wrap a parcel.
Yeah, you could. Don't you worry.
Well, that is us caught up on questions for a change. Right.
Excellent. So we'll be asking for more next month, and feel free to send them in whenever you've got them. Don't wait for us for the call out.
Don't wait. Just like if you think,
send them in. You've got the email.
And just
don't put on
any
Facebook.
inane bollocks about anything. We'll answer it.
Absolutely. We just had 5 of those questions, so.
Ooh.
Don't slag the questions off, James.
Nah, they were good.
They were well considered, thoughtful questions.
Yeah, they were. They were good. They had us thinking. It was like it's always good. So, Stu, you're the man to take us away with your rubbish at the end.
The rubbish nobody listens to.
Yeah, everyone will turn off. Everyone will go click.
Fuck, we've made it to the end.
Yeah, I thought they'd turn off at your bit, but no, it's always my bit, isn't it? So, right, it's you can get us the Facebook channel where we always hang out. Basically, that's the best place to go. So you can send us an email at yearofshame@gmail.com. But Dave, bless him, has set us up on the MLG Discord channel. He set us up a Year of Shame tag. So, and also anytime we do any videos. Unfortunately, can't get it to work where we stream live, but I think it's about 12 hours afterwards. They get posted on the Discord channel. So if you're a Discord user, you can see regular updates from us if we post on YouTube. So obviously on YouTube as well, we've got our own YouTube channel. Just search for Year of Shame on there. I've done a slight little tweak to the Facebook page now. So now if you want to ever find us, because you must know us from there anyway, but you don't have to go Facebook groups and then this long shitty number. Now it just says Year of Shame and you can just find us that way. And that's it really. So please echo what everybody else has been saying. Send us questions whenever you want. We'll just badge them up. To be fair, we'll probably answer them virtually straight away, but we'll try and like come in the show. And remember, you know what I'm like about everybody sending MP3s. Love them. Send them through because we've had none now for a while. I'm a bit sad. And that's it. So is there any other bit? Oh, who's the host next month, by the way?
Me.
I can't remember.
It's me.
Is it
Duane.
you? Oh, okay. Ooh. So Duane is on the hot seat. So next month in September, well, this month, but this is really August, so pretend I've not said any of that. It's Duane's the host. So
Very professional.
so is there any other?
That's what every
much.
good radio host goes. I forget I said that.
So
It's not September, so forget I said any of that. Brilliant.
Is there any other business apart from my really bad podcasting skills?
No. Only to say thank you to those people who've sent the questions in.
Thanks to everybody who listens. It makes this a joy, kind of like interacting with all of you guys on in the group. It's just all a good bit of fun, and honestly, I'm glad we're getting close to the end.
Shout out, actually. Can I just give a very quick shout out to Joe Middleton, who screen grabbed the 1 point where I was ahead of you, James, on David's Challenged and posted on the Facebook group.
Big shout out to Joe.
That is much appreciated.
I'd like to add though that the reason I went at the bottom of the page because I was keeping an eye on the leaderboard and I wasn't actually racing.
Yeah.
I wasn't. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Well,
right then.
Right.
yep. Thanks, everybody. And that's September done. Good night.
September.
Good luck.
Good night.
August even.
Not September.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, what?
Bye.
August.
Bye.
Bye.